welcome back to Celebrity with Nene. So today I've got Johnny and Reese on here with me, and we are going to be doing a recap of the latest episode of Love After Lockup. I'm sorry, I'm always stumbling when it comes to that part. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and just jump right on in. Make sure you hit the like button if you're already here. Hit the subscribe button as well. We'd love for you to be a part of our crew. All right, so this episode it started off with Brittany and Marcelino. Okay, so we see Brittany. She's in her car. She's driving around, and I guess you could say she's reflecting. I don't really know what to call it due to I don't have of a lack of better words. I'm going to say she was reflecting because she was just thinking about Amanda and how she feels like Amanda was a bad friend to her. Alrighty, and so Brittany actually goes to Amanda's job. She calls Amanda. Is like, "Hey, I'm outside," and Amanda comes out. Alrighty. And so Brittany starts asking, firing off all these questions to Amanda, like, well, why didn't you tell me sooner? What did you say after he sent the D pic? Sorry, the D pic to you? And Amanda she's stuttering. I gotta be honest, she's stuttering. She's not answering, firing back pretty quickly. And before we know it, Brittany pulls a Kevin and she hits this girl and proceeds to start beating on her, even pushed her down to the ground. And we see, Amanda, she's talking a little bit of trash, but she's running off to her job. And then they pan back over Amanda inside the job. And you can see her mascara tears are just running down her face. Alrighty. Now I'm going to go ahead and get my little 2 cents. First of all, I feel like nobody has to agree with me. This is just my thought. I feel like Brittany's anger, she is misdirecting it. Some of this, she needs to be mad at herself. She brought this girl in, and now she's mad that her husband is what missing the kitty that you brought to him. And then I just feel like if you're gonna do something like that, you should have had some rules into play. Like, hey, y'all know I won't like it if y'all communicate outside of me, or babe, if you get this kitty I'm giving you, you are really liking it like that, where you want to reach out to her again, talk to me. I will do the reaching out or whatever. I think they should have had some ground rules there, especially considering how long she was trying to get Marcelino to do this. Because it wasn't like the first time she brought it up, he was ready to jump in. Um, then her hitting Amanda, I get that you're frustrated. I didn't see that necessary to me in that moment. I get it that you're mad at what happened. I totally get it because I feel like I would have been mad, but I only think I would have been mad that you didn't tell me sooner. I think that's where my anger would have been at, not while I'm having problems with him and you see I'm upset, and so now you want to tell me all of this. I that was a little shady to me. But to beat the girl up in front of her job, if I was Amanda, I would not have took off and ran into my job unless I'm going in there to go get my weapons, to go get some stuff to get Brittany. I'm not about to let her beat me up in front of my job because I'm probably going to lose it anyway because they're going to say I was fighting on the job. So let me lose this job for a reason. So I'm going inside. I'm going to get a chair. I'm coming out with the chair like I think I'm a wrestler or something. I mean, you guys tell me, what did you think about their scene this week?
Well, I know personally, it's a lot of it, like you said, is totally her not communicating the boundaries, her not
Boundaries.
and or establishing boundaries, her not I've said this from the beginning, you just never bring somebody in, and they were exes. She's always had things to say about Marcelino. I remember in the past where she's kind of, oh, he's this, oh, he's that. Not as much as the girl she slept with uh, uh, did, but she was kind of also in her ear before they slept together, all three of them. And um, again, with Brittany, she should have waited. It's Brittany, right? What's her name? It is
Brittany.
Brittany. Okay. she should have also waited until at least she was off work or whatever, because I would never want to bring you something that I felt like you might lose your job or bring that
Right.
anger to something like that. So I
Right.
wouldn't appreciate if it
That's
was done to me.
yeah,
I wouldn't do
that's
it to somebody
livelihood.
else.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a livelihood. Like, don't do that.
don't do that. But the hitting part, you know how you always talk about how you can't be disrespected or people can't say things to you and it might make you mad or do stuff like that. If
Mm.
I can visibly tell you are lying to me, I think I might have swung
You're gonna
too.
swing.
Because lying is just that thing that just it grates me like you wouldn't believe, or it's just the biggest no you can do. If you want to get hit, I think you can lie to me and you will definitely get hit if I can tell you're lying. Now, granted, sometimes you can't tell people are lying, but when she was stuttering, because
Yeah, her
obviously,
suffering.
yeah, she was hiding stuff. She obviously encouraged him to send those DPs. I mean, granted, I have received some unsolicited DPs, but the communication, because that's why she started asking questions more and more about her friend, because it wasn't making sense. The flow of the conversation wasn't
Mm-hmm.
making sense,
Yeah.
so that's why she asked those questions, because it was like, what did you say? Because I see what he said, but I don't see what you said. And then on top of that, you know you're making it look like my husband's chasing you, and I'm not saying he's not, but what did you say? Because I think if I were communicating back to him, I'm not interested, I would have left those texts in there. I'd have left those messages that made it seem like I wanted nothing to do with this in there, but she
Mm-hmm.
left nothing on her side. And so to be confronted with it, and when she started looking around in circles and she said what she said, oh, I don't remember. What do you mean you don't remember?
You
You
remember.
remember what you said to my husband. Like,
Yeah, there's certain things you remember, and
yeah,
you
you
remember
remember.
what the conversation was. That's like
Don't
when
do
you ask.
that.
You might not remember word for word, but you remember.
Yeah, you remember. Absolutely. A situation like that, you know what was said.
Yeah. So don't sit here and play dumb with me. And I think that is what triggered the punch. And by then it was just more of the frustration because of that and everything else. So I totally don't agree with it happening at her job the way it did.
Mm-hmm.
But I can definitely understand why she felt the need to put her hands on her. Because, like I said, lying, mm, I don't even know how to hold a fist, but good God, I will find something to hit you with if you lie to me like that. My kids know I will find anything I can hit them with if they start lying to me, because that's just, it's not necessary. You've
Okay.
already been busted. You might as well as gone and say it all out.
Hmm.
Well, I got a completely different perspective
Okay,
because
let's hear it. Let's hear
I
it.
personally see I'm a big advocate of if the man is if I'm gonna say for myself, if my man is cheating on me, I'm going for him because he knows better. Now, if it's a friend of mine that's involving herself in that, now there's a problem because you know me. I can't be mad at a woman who don't know me if my man is cheating or doing something inappropriate, but you know me, and then you're supposed to be somebody who loves me or cares about me so much because that's an ex in her case, because obviously I don't swing that way, but in her case, that's her ex who's supposed to actually have for real feelings for her. So for me, I don't know if going to the job is right, but at the same time, when you're very angry, do you care? I mean, it's kind of hard to say, like, judge whether she did the right thing. And she didn't do the right thing by going to the girl's job, but at the end of the day, do you care about that girl's job? Right now, I can't stand you. And if you lose your job, oh well, like, honestly,
I mean, that
like,
is a different way to look at it because
yeah,
I'll be the first one. If I'm mad, I don't
yeah.
care.
Yeah,
I,
I'm not gonna be like, let me wait till you get to somewhere, first of all, where you got more weapons that you can get a hold. I'm not going to get to your house. I'm not gonna wait till you get somewhere where it's safe so that we can fight privately. No, if I'm gonna do it, I'm just gonna do it. Like I'm not gonna wait, and I'm not gonna care about your job. If you lose your job, oh well, you figure it out. Because I might go to jail behind this. In her
But
situation,
you
she
know
might go
what?
to jail.
If I show up at your job and I beat you up at your job, in the moment I'm not gonna care. But later
Yeah,
on, I think I would feel bad. Like, damn, I
I
made
don't
her
think so.
lose her job.
The only way I would feel bad is if I was actually wrong in what I was saying, like she actually didn't do nothing wrong, but technically she did because even like Johnny said, even if she hadn't of did anything wrong in that situation, she
Hmm.
should have said no or don't do that. Does Brittany know about this? Where's Brittany? Anything to
Yeah,
me,
look,
cover
I'm about
yourself.
to add Brittany to this chat.
Yeah, why is Brittany not on here? Shouldn't we be doing this with Brittany? What's going on with Brittany? Why is Brittany? Does Brittany know about this? Something to cover her own tracks so that if something did happen between them, if he was like, yeah, Brittany knows, and I could show her like, no, he said you knew. This is why I was like, oh, I thought you knew because he told me you knew. Anything
Right.
to cover your own track, even if you don't think she knew still, at least you got that. But my thing is that as her friend, because that is her friend, I think they both deserve a punch in the face. Like he deserves one for what he did, and she deserves one for being a crappy friend. And then you're gonna bring this to me knowing that you're not innocent. Because if
Yeah.
you're innocent, you should be able to prove to me that you're innocent. But by you not saying nothing at all in the text message and he's having a whole conversation, it looks like you deleted stuff. Because
Hmm.
why would he still continuously talk and you don't say anything? But he's just now, mind you, it's possible because I've been that one who sent like 10, 15 text messages to nothing. You know what I mean? Because I'm mad. But that wasn't that type of conversation though. So like that's a you know what I'm saying? Him trying to holler or whatever, or hey, to look at these DPs.
Yeah.
And and then for him to think it was okay to send it, again, like Johnny said, I've gotten unsolicited. I know you've gotten unsolicited based
Yes.
off of my unsolicited. So I know it happens. But at the end of the day, like as her friend, don't wait till the time that she told her, because this is like months later apparently.
Yeah. Months
And
later, and when she's
yeah,
mad at her man, that's when you bring it up.
yeah. And oh yeah, this is this I meant to tell you this. You didn't mean to tell nothing because you would have said something when it happened or earlier than this.
Hmm.
And then on top of it, she waited to that time, and then like I said, or like Johnny was saying, like when she was talking about, well, what did you say? She was like, oh, I didn't say anything. Well, I don't remember, but I didn't. I'm like, no. If you telling the truth, you're doing a horrible job at the truth. So at that point, I completely understand why Brittany punched her because I'm like, how long you gonna let this chick just go and stumble over her words before you go on and either cuss her out, hit her, push her down, something? I am mad about one thing though. When they
But
initially showed the punch, it looked like she punched her like Kevin punched
yes,
oh
but
boy with a K.
I hate to cut you off because y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but when she punched Amanda
Yeah.
started whirling like a ballerina.
Yeah.
And she like fell.
Yeah. So I thought
Oh
she
my God.
punched her like Kevin punched what was the other dude with a K?
Curtis.
Um Curtis with a K. I thought that was the same type of like a clean, like boom. Except twirl, boom. Like I
Yeah.
thought that's what happened. But then when they came back to the fight, I'm like,
No, she pushed the back of the girl's head. So the girl spun around and she got her in the back of the head
yeah.
and
So
pushed
I
her.
thought like it was a clean, nice, solid punch. Like, I mean, she got her twice. Now don't get me wrong, she did get the girl.
Yeah.
But it wasn't what they made it seem originally. So that part made me kind of mad. Cause I'm like, look now, that punch is not what you showed us. That was fake. But whatever. I don't know. And then too, I mean, and then when you go back to Brittany, she gotta like that's the one thing that I kind of worry for her is that if this girl wants to press charges, she can, and Brittany will probably go back to jail. So it's like,
Exactly.
was that really worth it? And then what's gonna happen when she see Marcelino? Because I feel like he's gonna get
Well,
another punch too.
well, that's what she said. She said Marcelino is going to get the same thing.
Yeah, yeah. She
She said,
said
yeah.
she gonna give him a chance to say what he gotta say, and then if not, we already know what's gonna happen. So it's like, you want to go back to jail? Like you got 3 kids, three, four, three,
She's
at
got
least
like
three.
five because she's got two that aren't at the house. Yeah, she
Oh,
has
okay.
5 altogether. She has 5
You sure
altogether.
it's her with 5? I thought it was
Yeah,
the other two with
he
5.
has 2 that were like adopted off, and then she has 1 with her ex, and then she got 2
Yeah.
with Lino.
Oh, so the ones that were adopted out then they wouldn't count then because those ain't in her. Like she can't do nothing with those. But the
Yeah,
3 that's in the house, like you know, what I mean, you're gonna. One of them ain't even Marcelino. So if you go to jail, he's supposed to keep that kid or what? You know what I'm saying? Like she gotta think it through. And then what happened with her at the hotel? Because you know when she said, "Well, I spent the night with a female," and that's not the same thing. Yeah, it is. If y'all were in there doing stuff, like
mm,
that's still just as wrong. And
yeah.
not to
You were
mention, like,
naked.
yeah,
Slept in
yeah,
the
you
bed
naked
naked.
and you know good and well they weren't just naked. Like y'all didn't just go to sleep naked. Like it's possible they were drunk and just fell asleep naked, but chances are the way they woke up and was smiling and giggling, no. So like you're still wrong too. Like that didn't by going to sleeping with that chick, if that's what she did or whatever happened,
Hmm.
didn't make that situation right. Like to me, if you're mourning the breakup of your divorce, the answer isn't or the you know what I'm saying, possible divorce, the answer isn't to go sleep with another woman. The
Right.
answer would be like, hey, you might not have went home that night, but you ain't gonna wake up naked after a bubble bath and all this other mess that they was talking. So that part kind of like, I'm like, we're gonna just brush over that because I feel like they focus more on the other stuff than the fact that the producers came into that room and saw them naked and they giggly and all this. Like, we can't just forget that that happened too, and she needs to be held accountable for that too. So Marcelino easily owes her a punch as well, but because he didn't cheat apparently, according to him. He's just gone to play poker. So if what he's saying is true, he deserved a punch for what he did because of how he handled himself on that phone. Because honestly, I wanted to punch him through the phone. Because I'm like, why won't you answer her then? Where were you at? Where you at? Where you at? Where are you coming from? Why you ain't at the house with the kids? And he just was nothing. I'm like, oh, like that's a pet peeve. I'm like, now how you just gonna not say nothing when you ain't did nothing wrong, but you ain't gonna say nothing? Like, so you wanted to appear to be wrong, and after she said, "This is it, don't say nothing. This is it, we're done," and then you still don't say nothing. So to me,
Yeah.
if
But
they're done, he kind of caused that too. 'Cause she did say, "If you're not gonna say nothing, I'm done," and he still
yeah.
didn't say nothing. So you don't want them. You don't want the relationship.
Well, some we've learned today is Reese's triggers. All right. And so JC, he says he agrees with you. All
Yeah,
right.
just
We
thank
got
you.
Shawn has
This
joined
is
us.
triggering. This is triggering.
It's triggering you. So, Shawn, what are your thoughts on Brittany and Marcelino this week? And that slap heard around the world, or the punch heard?
The-
Uh,
Mm.
Hmm.
yeah, that was, as they say, that was crazy. Um, but I didn't understand the punch at all because to me, you just got out of the bed with another woman and you're mad
Exactly.
and you're upset about what he did. And then on top of that, you saying that he showed her penis pics. Well, you showed another woman all your stuff.
Yeah.
Whether you admit to whether they did something or not, y'all both was in the bed naked. So my thing is why you're so upset for something that he did. He did the same thing you done.
Right.
Um, Now people would say, well, she only cheated because to me, I'm gonna say she cheated since she claimed that he's cheated because he just had the picture and the conversation, and she's ready to throw the whole marriage away because of the little conversation that was on the phone, and based off of what the friends were saying to her. Now the whole he didn't say anything to her, and she was saying about if you don't say nothing, it's done. I can see myself as someone was it's just like someone give you an ultimatum, and you're gonna
Exactly.
bluff. So it's like, oh, okay, you wants to play games, and I'm gonna play your game too. I'm not gonna say anything. Now, what you gonna do? But she done showed that she was serious, obviously, because she went on and threw the ring down on the table, and she went and slept with this woman. Because two, she was saying that she didn't remember how she got there. So if she don't remember how she got there, then she don't remember what they did. So they could have done something. Now, Marcelina is no saint in the matter because, yeah, you shouldn't be sending another woman pictures of yourself, especially you married. And even though your wife did give y'all had a threesome, and she was upset saying that he should, they agreed not to reach out to another one without her knowing. So obviously, to me, that sounds like he can do that type of stuff as long as she know about it. But he did it without her knowing, so he was wrong. He shouldn't have did all that. He shouldn't have. He should have kept it to himself. Now, also with the punch thing, when a girl was stumbling over her words, she was saying that she had a hard time remembering what she said because she was going through a lot of stuff at that time, which we do know she was because she said that she was going through the what her mom was sick, and then she had some other stuff that was going on. So that could have been her mind could have been on that, and she could have not known or remember what she said, even though I'm pretty sure she do remember the whole conversation.
Yeah, now that
Yeah.
part I gotta disagree on because I feel like if you're talking to your friend's man and he's coming at you in a way that you are not inviting, you are a member of that conversation. It's kind of like with women. Like if I see a woman wearing a cute dress, I'm like, oh, that dress is cute. Where'd you get it? And she tells me, I don't know. She's a lie. Because us women, we remember where we bought our stuff. We remember.
Uh-huh. But however, let's say you had a tragedy going on during that time frame, because that is a possibility during that she had all that tragedy was happening in her life, that she was more focusing on herself and not their little threesome thing.
We don't know about no tragedy. She just said she had a lot going on.
Didn't she say she had what was going on? And he was like, I can give you that D for that. And then she said she had something else that was going on. And he was like, I can give you that D for that to solve that problem. So then she had stuff going on in her life, even though he offered up the D to solve her issues.
But you gonna remember saying no.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I would remember
Well,
saying no. Like, and if that's all you said, then the text message change should prove that.
uh-huh.
But they're
But
missing apparently.
yeah, so
Or you talked on the phone and didn't say nothing. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
well, I get where you're coming from, but back to the punch itself, then to me she shouldn't have punched her. Because like you just as guilty as all three of them. And two, you invited this woman into your marriage. So because she had one scene when she was talking about he don't even like her like that, so why would he send her all that stuff? Well, he might not have liked her like that, but you introduced him to a different type of part
Yeah,
of
and now he's had that woman's good. So
right.
that's something you can't control.
Yeah. So he wants
She
to.
can't control how good her stuff is, and he
Hmm.
like it.
Yeah, because obviously she liked it too.
Yeah,
Brittany was, doing too much. But like I said, to me, the whole punch thing is to me is like just ridiculous. And if I was the friend, I would press charges. Because you're going to come to my job, punch me, and embarrass me on national TV. So I'm going to get even now. Especially if she is trying to sleep with the man, because that gets you out the picture. You going to jail, and now I can get him anytime I want him, because you in jail and I'm not. So I would play that game with her. And then she can talk that talk. She went go, I'm big and bad. I'm gonna go over there and give Marcelina the same thing. So if he hit her back, he can, that's self defense. So don't make these here threats and stuff. Don't be playing games like that. And like Reese was saying, that she got to think about her kids. Think about your children. And think the fact that you upset and you mad. You're gonna find out this man didn't cheat. Only thing he did was send pictures, which is still wrong because you married. But you actually had an affair, and
Mhm.
you got proof that we got proof that you had an affair because you let the producers come in. So she's ready to do all this stuff over some pictures. But what about your own dirt? So yeah.
I still think she deserved a punch.
mhm.
All right. So when he punched her
It's
back,
the lion. It's the lion. I don't.
Yeah.
I honestly, I don't think it really was because they had whatever. I think it's the lying. You're my friend. We were together, and I'm asking you a question, and you're lying to me just dead in my face when I know you're lying. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I don't think it had to deal with the cheating part of it. That's total on him and her, Marcelino, and his wife. But the lying from my friend, you know what I'm saying? I'm already feeling stupid that I let you in. I'm already feeling all these ways, and then I know you and you're lying to me. That part, when she did that whole thing, I just saw it. I said, she's gonna hit her. Oh my gosh, she's gonna hit her. And when she did, I said, man. But just to have it outside the job, if you knew that was where you might go, I would have waited till you were off work. I don't know that I would have confronted you at your house, but I would have waited till you were off work. I wouldn't have done it at your job. But lying to me like that, yeah.
Alrighty. So tell us in the comment section what were your thoughts on Brittany, Marcelino, and Amanda this week. All right. So our next couple was Branwyn and Chaz. So we see that Chaz finally got that cookie, and he looked real creepy afterwards. To me, I'm sorry. He just looked real creepy. We see them there in set. They're in bed wearing these matching robes, and he's trying to cuddle up and kiss on her, and he's flicking his tongue like a snake or something at her. But yeah. And Branwyn is still looking at him like she don't want to be there. So it was like pity sex that he got. But clearly the pity sex was good because they like got in the car and he's like, well, I'm going to extend out my vacation. I'm gonna stay here for about a week. And she just had this look of like, I can't believe this. I just gave it to you so you leave. Now you're talking about you want to stay? It was the funniest thing. All right, so they were like in a parking garage, I think maybe at the hotel he stayed at. And she gets a call. And it's a guy, and he's like, hey, I'm out. I'm out, and I want to see you. All right. Whose voice is that? Who is that? So actually, when she took the call, she told Chaz that it was her counselor or whatever. And so she's over to the side talking to the guy. And all we know is again that he's in jail. He's out now, so he wants to see her. And she has Chaz there with her. So she gets off the phone and she goes back to him. And he's like, he says it again. I want to stay longer. And she's like, why? I've got school. I don't have time for this. And she's just giving him excuses why he needs to go home. He needs to go ahead and leave. So then Chaz has a moment. I guess he's learned good from Branwyn because he starts the crocodile tears. And he runs to the side of the building to his own little corner and is quote unquote crying. But I ain't see a single tear. I ain't see any wetness under his eyes. Nothing. His voice wasn't shaky or anything. But yeah, so he had his little moment. And I guess Branwyn felt a little bit bad. She's like, well, I'm just trying to let you know I'm going to be busy. That's all. I'm like, oh my God. Girl, just tell this man you don't want him. And Chaz, believe her when she tells you. Believe her when she tells you. And just go home and save the rest, a little bit of dignity you have left. Alrighty. So what's everybody's thoughts on Branwyn and Chaz? Feel free to tell us in the comment section if you're watching, if you have thoughts on Branwyn and Chaz. Okay, Reese, go ahead and go.
Y'all know how I felt about this girl, like in them fake tears. And then of course, y'all know I'm so like, okay, now she playing this man because every time she cry, have a panic attack like she did in the last few episodes, which really irritated me. Like when she
defended her.
So yeah, I did. That's what makes me mad. Like, so the last episode when I saw her sitting there sucking her thumb, I'm like, what is wrong with you, girl? You're a grown woman. Stop it. You know what I'm saying? Like, first of all, stop that. Second of all, fix your face, because I know in that escort business, you ain't treating a man like that. And if you are, then you can't be getting good money. Because I'm sorry, like, I'm not gonna pay for it and you sit here and look at me like I'm disgusting. Like, you have to fake it. You know what I'm saying? You're a sex worker. Like, so you do this for a living, and I know you know how to fake it. So with a man who is good to you, loves you, doing whatever he can for you, I don't care if you ain't attracted or not, you better fake that mess, because this is the best man as far as like how he treats her that she's ever had. Now, remember I told y'all they said that Aaron isn't really that dude that was there in the picture. So maybe that was Aaron that called because apparently Aaron was still in jail, the real Aaron. So maybe that's who called her. But I don't know because, you know, it still makes it confusing. So it could be another man that we just don't know about.
Mm-hmm.
But what made me upset too or irritated by her was her face. Like she's looking at the phone like, you know,
Yeah,
like, so
she
all
was.
like,
I mean,
like,
not Chance.
out.
Chad called her.
Yeah. When you with Chad, you like you just want to throw up on yourself for sleeping with the man. You know what I'm saying? Even when she was kicking out the production, it was just like, yeah. Like she, you know, I don't know if y'all saw like the first time she got out, like get out, and then it was like get out, but the way she looked was like, I'm annoyed. Now get out because I gotta make this happen. Like get out so I can do this.
Yeah. And then
Not like the other people who were like, get out because I'm about to get it on. She like, get out because I gotta do this. So get out. Like, ugh.
I gotta
You
get
know,
this.
and then
Y'all are bothering me right now.
and so I thought Chaz possibly heard her conversation and he didn't say nothing, or he like recognized like her facial expressions. Because I don't see how you can be making the face that she made and he never saw it. I guess it's possible, but how can you make them that many times and not get caught? Like, and then even when she was like, he was like, "I'm happy you married me." He was like, she was like, "I'm happy you married me too," or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't like, I'm happy I'm happy I married you." It was like, "I'm happy you married me too," or you know, like the way she says things that are obvious that she's like can't stand to be around this dude. And I'm like, so don't keep coming back. Even in the behind the scenes, you know, when she do her little thing, it's like, I don't want to keep talking about this because I don't want to choose between my friends or the best man that, you know, there is for me and this and that. So it's like, if you keep saying it's like he's this great man, this great person, then give the man a try. Like, I feel like when it comes to being one-on-one with him, she act like he's the most disgusting thing she's ever seen. And she just wants to throw up every time he's in her sight. But yet you in the you know what I'm saying, when you behind the scenes alone, you're still saying like he's the best thing. Like, I'm just sad because I have to choose between living here with my daughter and my friends with my husband, who I plan to go with because I made this promise to him. But I don't want to leave my friends and then the thing is, your friends, you don't make decisions on life based off of where your friends live anyways. There, unless there's a reason behind it, like, you know, like maybe y'all deal, you know, y'all partners in business or there, you know what I mean? Like, if this really is your support system, but being that obviously if you in and out of jail, this is not a positive support system. To me, leave. You know what I'm saying?
What do you think about when she was describing their sex? And she
Well,
said,
she said he was a fluffy butterfly or
yeah,
something. I'm like, what does
Cuddly
that even
butterfly.
mean? What does that even mean? Because like the way she said it, like was like it wasn't bad, but then she described it like, you know, she was like, I was actually surprised, like as if maybe he wasn't bad in bed, but then she was like, I would describe it as a cuddly fluffy butterfly or something, she said. And I'm like, what the heck is a fluffy butterfly? Like,
so
who
of course,
wants to
I got to ask Sean. Sean, from a man's perspective, would you like for the sex you just gave a woman to be called, or your wife, whatever, to be called a cuddly butterfly, like or something?
No, no, I wouldn't go with that because
I'm trying to say what's going on here.
mhm.
man? Because I'm like, did he wrap his arms around her like a cocoon and it was like a butterfly? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta be more specific when you're talking about a man and his sexual performance. Because even as a woman, who wants to be like, oh yeah, when we was doing it, she was like a cuddly butterfly. Like, what does that even mean? Like, what is that? Like, that wouldn't make me feel good about myself if you described, you know what I'm saying, us as when we're getting intimate as I'm a cuddly butterfly. Like, what? Like, to me, that's just, it sounds stupid. And to describe that for a man, just as well as, you know, like I feel like as a woman, that would sound real stupid. Like, I'd probably go punch the man for saying that mess. Like, don't you ever say that on national TV again. Like, you deserve a punch. Just, I go get Brittany and be like, go punch him because that was stupid. Then, but it's just her actions, like the fact that she act like he's so disgusting when what you do for a living is nasty. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it's true that she's an escort, you can't judge nobody because you sleep with stuff that you don't even have a choice on what you sleep with. So when it comes down to sleeping with somebody who's good to you and all that, I got it. He do act real creepy. I do explain.
I totally understand, JC.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
feel explain.
yeah. Because
But
that's
a
weird.
Cadillac
It's weird.
butterfly.
Yeah, that's weird. Like I feel like even if a man said it about a woman, it don't. None of that does not make sense. So what was he doing that was butterfly like? Because that's weird.
Yeah.
But like, ugh. But the fact that the matter is, like, regardless, like, she act like he's the most disgusting thing. So if you don't want him, just go ahead and let him go, so that he can move on with his life. And then why'd you consummate the marriage? Maybe she did it so he can't just get an annulment. Like he gotta actually fight to get out of this. Maybe she got a motive on it. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
As a motive.
because it's almost like, why'd you consummate it? Because you weren't doing that before, and all of a sudden you want to give him a sexy lap dance and do this. And he was creepy. He was super creepy. And I don't know. I mean, like literally, I don't know how she do it. Because like even like when he was sad, like I wanted to go give him a hug because he looked so sad.
So,
But when he
so
went and cried,
I mean, I get it. He probably was sad, but he was putting it on with those tears.
yeah, but when he went and cried against the wall and stuff, like first he was like, "Can you just give me a minute?" I was like, "Oh snap, he's snapping." You know what I'm saying? Like, wait a minute, he finna say why he took the ring off. But then he goes and cries against the wall, and I'm like, okay, like what do you do? Like, what is she supposed to do? Like, I don't know. Like, and then he was like, "Yeah, I know I'm overreacting." It's kind of like, now you just look stupid now. So I don't know. Now the butterfly is showing its true colors. Like,
Yeah. I
you are
believe
just a
at the
butterfly.
moment he probably realized he needs to leave her.
He's a butterfly.
So he wanted to cry, but he just couldn't.
He's not
That
a rock star like he think he is. He's a butterfly. He's a butterfly. Poor thing. He's a butterfly. Like he's lame. Like everybody. Like you know what I'm saying. But you chose to marry him once you realized like she saw him on video chats and stuff. She knew this man was weird or lame. Like you chose him. So why would you do him like this at the end of the day? And then why can't you stop being weird? Like this is your wife. Like
yeah.
just get comfortable. Like it's like he's still like weird. And you know, even when she was like, "I'm working on my homework," it was like, oh, okay, let me rub on you and kiss. It's like, dude, she working on her homework. Give her like a second. Don't sit in front of her and stare at her. Go sit on the couch and watch TV or something. Like he did a lot of weird things, and I'm like, I get why she was weirded out, but I don't know. I still don't get why you're still holding on to this marriage if you don't want him. That's all I got. Cause I know I'm going on and on. Cause that one really bothered me. She
Yeah.
bothered me these last couple of weeks.
Triggered.
Yeah, she's a trigger right now because she. And then when I was really looking at her with that big old piercing right here, she's not as pretty as I thought she was. Like, and I don't know if it's because I don't like her personality anymore. She's not as pretty as she was. Like to me, she was really pretty at first, and now I'm like, she's not that pretty.
Yeah, I think that synthetic ponytail is not helping the situation.
Maybe not. Because she kind of looks older too with that ponytail. And she's not that pretty. So I'm like, so don't sit here and think you're all that. And if it's your insecurities, whatever, because you still then did your hair up, did your makeup, put your lashes. So you can't be that insecure. You know what I'm saying? But maybe she is. I don't know. But I just feel like, okay, now Chaz is weird, but you ain't that cute either. So
Okay. All right. Shawn and Johnny. What are your thoughts on?
I think Reese summed it all up, and
She did.
I think Cuddly Butterfly says it all.
Yeah. But we already said he is not breaking backs. Or at least I know that's what I said. He ain't. And clearly he still didn't because she still hasn't changed.
Not
he
a fan
cuddly
of
like
Butterfly.
bent her back.
he,
He softly bent her back. He softly bent.
it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Girl,
he
you
softly tapped her
always
back.
do that. That's when you just be like, you know what? Just stop. I'm just gonna finish this
Mhm.
and
Pretty much. Pull out the toys. Pull out the toys. I don't know what's going on anymore.
Maybe
yeah. And
maybe
on
he
top
left
of
the
it, yeah,
hammer.
like,
Yeah.
I really thought he always disappoints me though, because this time when he took off his ring, I really thought he was about to go off and finally just like, oh, there's that little man syndrome that just you know.
Yes, and then he was like, "Just back off. Give
Yeah,
me a
when
second." He's like, "I need some time." I was like, "Finally."
I
She
thought,
was looking like, what do I do now? Like, wait, huh? You took the ring off. Wait,
Yeah.
what? Huh? And then he goes and
yeah,
I'm like,
I was hoping he was going to hop in that car and drive off.
No, he left his anger and his manhood at home, along with the hammer he was supposed to have been bringing to give that girl. He left all that at home.
he put feathers on that hammer.
I tried to look at
That's
some
what he
facts
did.
about butterflies to
Softened
see
it
if
up.
I could relate it to a penis, and
No,
nothing
nothing
there.
about it.
Outside of
No.
transparent,
No, there's no
they die
correlation.
pretty fast.
Maybe if you think about like toys, the butterfly.
Oh, the butterfly toy is supposed to be a good one, right? No, that's a rose, so nope.
No, there is a butterfly. It's not that great. So if you compare it to that toy,
So we are learning everything about
About
Reese
Reese today.
this
Hey,
episode
Shawn.
really upset me. This episode upset me. I'm not gonna lie. Like so many. Is this the anger episode? Because like I really felt very upset when I watched this episode. Like
I think it's the way they started it out. They started it out with violence. Like
maybe.
first few minutes, we were watching old girl get beat up. So maybe.
As she should.
I know she flung her like a. She flung her. Now she flung her like a butterfly.
It did. So this episode is partially the butterfly.
Yeah, it's like dang. But old girl was in jail too, though, right? I know we're
Yeah, that's where they met. They were prison girlfriends.
yeah. So it's not like she didn't know she could throw down.
Oh yeah. That's why she was like, you wanna fight some more? She was like, no.
Yeah.
She knows. No, I don't want none of that. I don't want that. I don't want that.
But I feel like with both of them being prison girls, that should have been a really good fight because it seems like Amanda would have.
No, I think Amanda. No, I think Brittany is the alpha.
Brittany's like the freaking out of like Puppy and what's her face. Brittany
And
is
She's Amber.
yeah, Brittany's Amber and Puppy is dang, are they both named
Amanda.
Amanda? So Puppy's Amanda and Brittany is Amber.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How you would imagine.
Brittany's tough. I mean, Brittany's trying to go check everybody involved. Shoot.
Yeah. Pretty yeah. But anyways, cuddly butterfly says everything, so there's not much to say or
not right though. That ain't right.
Yeah, Branwyn just needs to move on. Her eyes though, her facial expressions are definitely giving it away more and more how she really just doesn't like him. How he's just
throw up.
He's just
she looks sick to her stomach.
Yes,
how nice he treats you. He's just not the one.
No,
Yeah.
And that also goes to show that no matter how great a guy treats you, if you're not physically attracted to them, it's just not going to work out.
Exactly.
But,
I am excited to hear Shawn's take on this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give us the male perspective, Shawn.
I'll turn that camera on.
Have you ever been called a cuddly butterfly?
Yes. And then
look earlier, he was like, no, that's not okay.
No.
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 I know we got any men. Tell me, how would that make you?
No Angry Bird. No.
They told us she would have to explain.
I would rather be Angry Bird if anything. That meant you was like doing something crazy.
Okay, yeah, exactly. You was doing something crazy.
He said no Angry Bird, no.
Nah.
Oh, Angry Bird.
Yeah, I would be upset and disappointed and worried some about being called a butterfly. Because I would think that I didn't do something right. But yeah, Reese kind of summed it all up, like Johnny was saying. My thing was that when he was crying, I was laughing. I just couldn't help myself.
Let me ask you this: Did you feel like he was weaponizing his tears?
Yes, I kind of felt like he was trying to do his Baldwin moment, and I kind of felt it was funny and it was sad, and I felt bad for the man too, because my thing is when he said, "Give me a moment," And I was like, well, give the man a moment. The man done gave you all these times that you done cried, and he let you have your moment. Don't poke the porcupine and all that foolishness that you were saying.
Yeah, I
So
forgot about that.
yeah, so let the man go off in his corner and try to throw some tears, because I don't know, maybe he was trying to pull a hair out of his nose so some tears would come out because he was balled up in the corner.
I'm sorry, I'm imagining that. Is he from? Oh,
It just, I thought so too. Yeah, because I thought so too that he was done when he took it, because he took the ring off and put it on the slammed it on the table. At first, I was like, "What did he put on there, a quarter or something?" And then so then when she brought it back to him and she was feeling all whatever she was doing, like, "Oh, okay, I wasn't expecting this, so I guess now I have to be sincere and act like I care about what's going on and his feelings and don't throw the ring away." He should have left. Because I thought it when before he said he was going to stay, and then they had sex and they was about to go home, send her home. I was like, oh, okay, then I guess that's why she became an escort, because he had sex with her and he was like, okay, it's time for you to go home because I don't want you to be late. But then he went into the whole thing that I'm going to stay here longer, and then she went into her little thing about no, I got homework, I got school. So like there's something ain't right about that whole thing. That whole thing. And do also, if the sex was really good, hey, Egypt.
Hey,
hey,
Egypt.
good job.
Yeah, and if the sex was, if a butterfly is really good, then she would want him to stay so she can spend more time with the butterfly. So
Yeah.
obviously, it wasn't that great to her.
No, it clearly the way she was acting is like it was trash. That's what
She was just
That
acting.
trying
part.
to be nice for the camera, and that
That
was
part.
nice. And
It
she,
is trash.
yeah, and the cuttering thing, like a with soft butterfly, probably because he feels soft himself. You know, uh, he probably soft, not hard. You know, So, but I just don't know. I don't know, because like
You're
I
being
said,
nice, Sean.
yeah, because I felt bad for the man. I felt bad for the man because he thought he finally got some, and his relationship was going, the marriage was going to go into a positive spin, and they was going to go off in the sunset and do all that type of stuff that marriage people do. And then she broke his heart just that quick with a phone call. And then my thing too about the whole phone call thing is that when she with her friends, she put him on speaker, you know, and
Hmm.
she walked away from that one because she knows she didn't want him to
No.
hear
She
that.
knew who it was. Yeah, she knew
Yeah.
who it was.
hmm So,
She's
but
probably
she
like, let me answer this phone call because at least I know this man will satisfy me.
Because
but
that's
no,
the way she looked at the phone, like she wanted to put that phone up. Something.
nah, because I say she did do something. She did tell the man, "Hey, we need to talk." So I'm pretty sure she's going to tell the man that she's married
Yeah, but that's it.
and that she can't do whatever she normally do.
No, I don't think it's that she can't do it. It's that she need to let them know I am married
Uh,
But you know what
and
is
I'm filming and this is going on.
yeah, and something else that I thought that crossed my mind when I saw it. I'm like, wait a minute, she hasn't had this phone a long time. How did that man get her number?
Yeah, that part. I was wondering that too.
yeah.
Like whoever he is, whether it's the real Aaron or not, how did he get the number?
Well, we
Yeah,
get what
yeah,
to do.
yeah.
Yeah,
We
they
we
probably gave it to him.
Said
Yeah.
that.
like how
Just like
we chased our boy down.
right. Like we was like, what's your ex's name again?
Um,
Okay. We'll be contacting your ex.
yeah.
But you but to to just piggyback on what he said about the cuddly butterfly, like because he's soft. Like most people when they say like somebody's soft, like cushiony, they'll say like a teddy bear or something. You know what I mean? Like so I don't think that's what she meant. I think
Oh,
she meant he whacked like a little butterfly.
Maybe he was all over the place, like a butterfly flying everywhere.
I don't know. She
Maybe
needs
his
to explain it.
good.
Like JC said, she needs to explain it because that made no sense. That's the wackest way to describe a man. Like period. Because that sounds gay and it sounds demeaning and it sounds, you know what I'm saying? Like for a man, like that's low. Like to call a man a butterfly. Period. Period. Like he ain't calling her the big Amazon god. You know, the Amazon whatever, because that's what she looked like when she was sucking her thumb, curled up, but yet she still was too big to sit in his arms, like curled up with a big old giant thumb in her mouth. I'm like, nobody said, you know what I'm saying? I know he's little and she's probably not that big, but compared to him, she looks like a big Amazon. And I'm like, you know, he didn't describe her all crazy. He actually said nice stuff. But I know why, because he
Yeah,
enjoyed
cause
himself.
yeah, he enjoyed himself. He did.
But how did he not see the faces at all, ever,
I think
ever?
he sees them, but he's ignoring it.
Yeah, he sees it. And to also that whole thing about the when he's at the table doing her homework and he talking about Sarah, how do you say you're the most beautiful woman in Spanish? And then I thought maybe he at least would have let Siri say it and then he would have just repeated it. But no, he just what you call it, and she's like, oh, okay, that's cute. Yeah. And then she go back to
Well,
doing her work.
That
So
was
he
his
didn't say. He said
foreplay.
he was like, I can't say that. He's like, but yeah, what she said, because I
But
can't say
but you
that.
know what? That was supposed to be his foreplay.
that was foreplay, yeah.
I
Because
think that's what that was supposed to be.
but that whole scene was creepy, and to me
It
that
was.
Awkward, awkward.
yeah, that too. And I get it. As a man that's trying to get some, you take advantage of every opportunity you get, and you try to play whatever card you can play to get what you want. But I think he should have just went on and just let her do her homework. And
Yeah,
but
They
then again,
had
what if
yeah.
she would have gave him none? So he had to aggravate her and annoy her to in order to get what he wants. So that was his tactic, I guess. So, but
Yeah, I guess.
but you know, at first time when he sat across that table, I'd have been like, "What you doing? What you doing?
yeah, because he was just staring there, just
What you
staring.
doing?"
I was like,
Yeah,
dude, go watch TV or
yeah.
something.
You can turn the TV on. That won't bother me.
Oh,
Or if it does,
I
I'll let
thought
you
we
know.
just started. Why don't you take your clothes off and just get in the bed and wait for me to finish?
Something, something,
Yeah.
because that was weird. He was like, blah blah blah. Okay, I'm gonna leave you alone. So blah blah. I'm like, oh my gosh, like you are annoying right now. Right now, you're being extremely annoying. Like you're like a
Mhm.
kid that can't sit still. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. So our next couple was Lindsay and Deontay. Alrighty. So we see Lindsay. She's actually dress shopping with her daughter. Her daughter's going to be in a pageant, so she's trying to help her get a dress. But Deontay keeps calling, just keeps on calling and calling, and she kind of explains to her daughter, this is Deontay calling because the daughter notices it, and she's like, "But this is our time," which I did like it. Them actually showing her being like a mom. And so we see that Deontay is back in Virginia. He's at a furniture store and he's meeting with his mom. So he's looking for furniture and I guess the mom's trying to help him pick out something. Then he goes over to the kids section and she's like, "Why are we in the kids section?" And he's like, "Because Lindsay has a daughter. And if we're going to move in together, I'm going to need furniture for the daughter too." So the mom, um, oh, and then they kind of jump back to Lindsay where Lindsay's saying he's being clingy to her. We can see him acting like being Mr. Clingy. And so he tells his mom, that he's thinking about moving to Mississippi. So not only does he want to move in with Lindsay, but he wants to move where she is. His mom gets so aggravated with him, she picks up a pillow and hits him upside the head with the pillow, right? And then because they keep on flashing back and forth between Deontay and Lindsay. Then when they go back to Lindsay, we see she's teaching her daughter how to walk in high heels. And then she's also telling her daughter that she used to be in pageants too, or that she was at least in one. And that the difference between her and her daughter is she had like a 2 year old when she was a senior, I think is what she said, a senior in high school. She had a 2 year old. Alrighty, so I want to hear everyone else's thoughts on Lindsay and Deontay this week. And then his mom. Like, I understand where his mom was coming from. Deontay is her child, so anytime he gets into trouble, a lot of times he's coming to her for help. But last with the first girlfriend, he said he had like lost his apartment and had to move back in with his mom till he got back on his feet. And she watched Nicole run through his money. So I think she's just worried and she's frustrated with him and she feels like he's just making the same decisions over and over again and not working for him. But I want to hear everybody else's thoughts on this couple this week. Is Deontay being clingy?
I don't know, because they didn't match him calling her with when she kept looking at her phone. So I don't know that he really was, because he did have a conversation with his mom.
Mm-hmm.
I do think he just kind of called her, when he was heading to the store, when he got to the store. I just think that's a immature way of handling things. I'm with my daughter. Stop calling and be done. Especially if he was calling like that back to back to back, because you distracting, checking your phone every 5 seconds is actually way more distracting and more interrupting than you just answering and saying, I am with my daughter. I will call you when I'm done. Stop calling me. That's it. Because think of how many she has to, because the way she explained it to her mom, she has to check her phone because it could be her parole officer. And then that just kind of did another, what the hell? How does her parole officer know she don't have outstanding warrants?
Yeah, the parole officer should know that. Or probation officer should know that. Yeah.
Like when she said that, I was like, wait a second, why don't they know? Like, something isn't making sense. Either she's lying about all her outstanding warrants, or they just ain't doing their job over there to make sure people are accounted for all their crimes. I don't know, but that was just weird when she said that. So, anyways, with that, I just really just didn't understand. If he's called me 5 times and I haven't answered the phone, and I have to keep pausing to look to check, I'm just answering my phone and saying, look, dude, I told you I was with my daughter. Stop calling me. I will talk to you about your mom's visit when I'm done. I can't do this right now. And hang up, because I'm not going to interject with what you're saying. I'm letting you know to stop calling me.
All right.
Or she could just block his phone number for the day.
Yeah.
So she didn't have to look at her phone if she's not going to say to him, stop calling. I don't get that part. I don't get, because I guess I'm just blunt like that. I would call it. I would answer after the second or third time. I'd be like, why are you calling me? I would first say, are you okay? Okay, I'm busy. I will call you when I can. That's it. Like, I don't understand why you have to keep calling me. That's pet peeve. That's annoying. But anyways, I don't know. And as far as the mom goes, I think as mothers of boys, we do tend to get into their we feel for them way more than we do our girls. Because if it were her daughter, would she have hit him with a pillow? I think it's that. You know what I'm saying? I think it's that motherly, like, protection over our sons that we have more than our daughters. So I think she just needs to step back and hope that he one day learns to stop giving these girls and following after these girls. Like, it's like at some point you have to figure out, what is it that you're wanting so bad? Is it you're wanting love? Are you wanting to be with somebody? What is it that makes you fall for these women and spend up all your money to get broke because you're not learning your lesson? I don't understand. Or she needs to tell him to stop telling her. I don't want to hear anymore, because you just keep making the same stupid decisions, and I'm just tired of hearing them. I wouldn't ask anymore. So that's all I have on them.
All right, Reese and Shawn.
All right, I go. So with the mom, I think I agree. Like, she probably would have a different response if it was a daughter versus a son. But I see that pillow thing is just a frustration, like, of it's the third time. Like, I'm not gonna punch you, but I'm gonna smack you with this pillow, because you know what I'm saying? Like, get it to
Why
your
is my
head.
son being a simp?
Yeah, it's like you keep doing the same thing over and over. You do what you keep doing, and then you get expecting better results, but it's your third prisoner. So when the first two didn't work, why are you trying it again? Now I get it. Mind you, the first one and the third one probably were better than the second one, obviously, because we know how the second one was. But, and I don't know much about the first one, but other than what he said, but it's just like, you're doing the exact same thing over and over, and you're expecting different results. Yeah, no, you can't do the same thing and then think you're gonna get different results. Period. I mean, period.
Right.
So, with that being said, though, I do feel like this relationship had potential to be different, but it's still something about Lindsay. Like I don't know her from the previous seasons when she had hers with the other guy. I do think she does really like Deontay, but the fact that she's like stuck on his credit and all this. And what I did not like was after their date, I think it was on the last episode when she was hugging oh boy when she went back to the house. So it makes me feel some kind of way about how she really feels about him. However, when it comes to how it was going, I thought the calls and then when he was calling were matching up. But what you're saying is it could be true because another little outside thing that I had saw was that he said those text messages that were coming through with the penis, the not the penis, but the not the cucumber, what's that thing, eggplant on it.
Mm-hmm.
He said those weren't his, those weren't him, like those weren't real. And he was like, he's very upset at we for that because he said that's not what he was sending her. He's like, he
You're
don't know
talking
where those
about,
come from.
yeah, you're talking about on his live he did.
Yeah, and he was saying those aren't actually true. So there is some false things happening with as far as like him calling her, him texting. But I do feel like what you said is accurate. Like when she was trying to explain to her daughter, like, this is me and you time, and I want you to understand that, like, I'm not gonna let some man just come and jump in this when we're bonding, we're doing our thing, and he knows I'm with you. So, and then even the daughter's like, well, just answer it, and just answer the phone. Like, she really could care less, to be honest.
Right.
However, if you had to stay on the phone for an hour, yeah, now you're being rude. But if you
Right.
just say, well, let me just let him know I'm with you, because obviously he didn't forget. Let me tell him I'm with you and I'm not going to sit on the phone with him. So unless it's an emergency, stop blowing my phone up. And she would have known he was only calling because, and I 100% understand why he was calling. He was calling to say, hey, I'm going to tell my mom.
Mm-hmm.
Then he called again, and maybe he called back to back trying to get her to answer. I don't know. But then he called again after the fact, and he was sending text messages. So he probably was explaining what happened in the text message. And depending on how long the story is, maybe it took multiple messages, or he was like, oh, and blah, 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 blah. So she got to like give him some slack. And then the fact that you live with a man, like, to me, you got to give him some slack, because if the roles was reversed, would you be okay with him living with a man that is possibly attractive? Like, I don't think that Blaine is cute like that, but to me, they fit. Them two do fit together. Like, when you see pictures of them together or them two together, they fit. Her and Blaine do fit. More than her and Lindsay and her and Deontay, in my opinion. So with that being said, like, I just feel like he's justified if he keeps calling, like, explain to him, like, hey, when I'm with my daughter, blah blah blah, please don't do that. But don't say he just suffocating you and you ain't even talk to him about it. That's
Right.
one. Two, you making him look bad when maybe it's not that bad. You know what I mean? Like, if WeTV is doing one thing and you're adding on to it, like, oh, he's suffocating, he's this, he keeps calling, he's this and that. But I mean, but then you go back to those scenes with her and Blaine, and then it's kind of like, well, he was justified in what he said. Look at what Blaine was saying last week, saying like, I ain't a home wrecker, but maybe I'll wreck it, but things could change. I mean, it's just little things that are going to come out that technically he was justified in how he felt. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Like, to me, I feel like Lindsay's not being fair. But if she at least explains to him, like, when I'm with my daughter, I'm not gonna sit up and talk to you unless it's something for real. Just explain that to him, because obviously, he's come out of different types of relationships than you did. So you can't expect one person to act exactly, until you've talked to them. They're not gonna act the way you want them to act, or you know what I mean. You can't expect them to understand until you talk to them. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, he
Yeah,
don't get it because
it-
he doesn't know he's doing it wrong.
yeah, because she hasn't set the expectation for him yet.
Yeah, set the expectation.
Yeah. All right, Shawn, your thoughts on Deontay this week?
Yeah. Before Reese had explained about the interview with Deontay, I was thinking that he was a little clingy, or those text messages were just going back and forth, on and on and on. But since it's not him doing that, and we just making him look bad, which they did, uh, the because I can see what she was saying that I don't know if she was talking to somebody, but she had said that she had control of the relationship. She can talk to him whenever she wants to, but now she has to. He has more access, and he can call as freely as he wants to. So on that point, she probably should understand and be lenient towards him, have mercy or whatever towards him because he waited for her while she was in prison and now she's out and they can talk and he needs to be able to get that like you all saying, talk to him, let him know, hey, you're doing too much, and then but he got to make the proper adjustment, because he's not used to talking to him. So maybe he is talking a little bit too much, which does make him out to be clingy. Then you have the whole thing about the friend, another friend that wants to be possibly more than a friend, and he got opened up the house so he got access to try to work on what they have going on to where he can get what he wants to do. But then you have the man that sees this here and he knows his past relationships with the other ladies and other people being involved with the other ladies. So he's a little leery. So yeah, he might be calling a lot, checking on things to see how things are still good, like what Reese was saying. And then also the whole, I agree with Johnny about the mom. If you don't want to hear it, just walk away. But I'll just say don't entertain or don't let me know anything. However, us boys, we're gonna talk to our mom before we talk to our dad about it. So we're gonna come and we're gonna give you the information, and you be a good man, you too. Because that's all we really want you to do is listen and agree. Because like Deontay said, not since she did, and there's no good job, son. I'm for you. Yeah, I think you're making a good decision and all that type of stuff. That's all you want to hear from his mom. That's all boys want to
Yeah, but I can tell you from that mother's point of view, we're not gonna do it. We go
hear.
add our 2 cents in there.
Quit being
We'll
selfish.
have an opinion about it. Yeah.
Quit being selfish. Quit thinking about yourself. It's about your son. Your son just wants you to have his back. That's all we
You know
want.
what? And I have to admit, I had my first test this week with my son and his girlfriend, and
I don't
I
like.
have to admit I'm pretty proud of myself
Oh, okay. Go ahead on.
that
Can't believe it.
I let him talk and ask me what it is he wanted to know. Like I didn't just interject my thoughts and opinions and blah blah blah. And y'all gotta understand how much it's hard for me not to do that. But I did not because I knew it was really affecting him and how he was feeling. So I wanted to make sure one, I didn't badmouth the girl, you know what I'm saying? And two, I just gave him an honest reaction of how to handle the situation. And it worked out. But I was like, oh, I did that well. It's one of many to come, but goodness
Yeah, one
gracious.
of many.
The
One of
first
many.
time to actually have that, to make
Mhm.
sure I wasn't hurting his feelings or thinking of myself first, trying to make sure he was actually hearing a valid explanation of why it could be this and not feeding in to the negativity he was already getting. So I was like, pat on the back, mom, pat on the
Yeah,
back.
kudos. Kudos to your
Y'all,
mom.
it's hard, man.
I
And
still don't like it.
Been replaced. It's hard.
I just heard son when he was a little dude just dancing around and
I
just
know.
like
And
Usher or
now he
whatever was
won't
dancing, and
dance.
I'm like, now you talking about he had a girlfriend? I'm like, gross.
He does have a girlfriend.
Ew.
And
Hmm.
they've
He
been together
growing.
2 months now.
That's good. Two
Ew.
months. He growing. He
I
growing.
know, two
I'm glad
months.
my nephew when he
This
asked me for some
culture.
advice, he was already like senior or in first year of college, whatever. I don't know. But when he came to me and asked me for something, like it was later, not so early. Like I feel like no, he's getting up there.
I know he's only a junior, but
That's what I'm
at
saying.
least
But I
he's
don't even feel like
first
he a junior.
girlfriend.
Like I feel like he's younger than that though. Look,
I
even though
know.
he's like this tall, but
I
I
know.
still feel like he's younger. I can't imagine. I don't like it.
I know. And it was hard
I'm
though,
gonna
but
cling to the baby now because I'm like, at least he's still a baby.
at least he's still girl, he's gonna be 9, but
No, he
a
ain't.
whole nother conversation.
Look, no, he ain't.
I know. It's hard to believe. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
is mother of a son. I can tell the difference between my daughter and him. It's a difference. It doesn't mean it's a favoritism. It's just a difference.
Right.
So you just try your best. Try your best. That's all you can do, right?
Mm-hmm. That's all you can do.
Yeah.
So when you said that, I was like, "Yay, that's what I did."
Yeah, probably because when it comes to your daughter, like you can speak from experience and be like, "This is how I handled it." But when it comes to your son, it's like you know the female's point of view, so it's like, I bet
Is
you she's
this
like,
what her angle is, or
yeah,
is it something else?
yeah, and it's
Right.
like,
And she know
I
my
know
first instinct was
females, and it's like, I don't want to tell you something that's gonna hurt her, but at the same time, I want you to get hurt, so.
exactly. And like that was my first thought was, oh hell,
Mhm.
but no, she not.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because I know,
She
like
ain't
my
gonna make
son.
no fool out of my baby.
Yeah,
yeah.
like when my son first started coming to me, and and I give him my advice. Sometimes it's not what he was looking for, but he came to me, so I just answered it. He's like, "Why do you feel that way, Mom?" I'm like, "I'm a girl. That's where this is coming from." I said, "I'm trying to take myself out of the picture as your mom, and I'm just answering you as a girl. Where would my
So,
mindset be at with
I
this?"
think
And
as
it's
a TT,
probably
my answers are easier. I can see it slightly different because I'm a TT. But I'm like, well, as your auntie, this is how I feel. Because I want, you know what I'm saying? Like, I could be more real. Like, I feel like for you, you got to be careful. You give the wrong advice and he get hurt, and he going to be like, that's what you decided,
That's
Mom?
what
You
you
told
yeah.
this to me?
exactly. And
You
like I
know?
said, I didn't want to feed into the negativity he was already getting. So it was like,
Hmm.
stay positive in your security and just ask. It's okay to ask questions. I think people have gotten so like, be quiet, don't ask me anything, you should just know. No, I'm not a mind reader, so ask the question and get the answer you're looking for. Now at that point you just move forward. But I just, when Shawn said that, I was like, yay, I did the right thing.
That's good. Because you know what? It can backfire. Because when I was married, my ex, like his mom took my side, which in reality, my side was actually correct. You know what I mean? Not to like say like Cerise is always right, or I'm sorry, Reese is always right, but literally the things he was doing was actually wrong. And she was like, I'm not even looking at, and it was me and her had a better relationship than him and her at the time. But it was like at the end of the day, that's still her son, no matter what. So there were a few things that I was like, okay, you got to still see that that's your son. So I can't be like high fiving that you took my side on this and that. But she did go with right and wrong on some things, and it affected their relationship slightly because it was like you took her side, and why would you take her side and I'm your son? So I guess y'all gotta kind of moms wait,
Well, we always
y'all
will.
gotta
We
y'all
will
gotta
have
be
to be
careful of
careful.
that because like like you want to tell them the right thing, but at the same time, like with my situation, the right thing was taking defending me because I'm making a payment on the car. He had another chick driving to his house when he went and turned himself into jail. I just throw it out there. So I'm like, who are you? Who are you? Wait a minute. Then I'm on the phone with her. I'm like, no, who is it? Who is it? And she was like, let me call you back. But it was just one of them things where like, we had some crazy stuff happen, and she went in like fussed out the chick and then came, and went and told him about himself because she was actually defending me because she like, you got, you're married and this and this and this, A, B, and C. But it's like one of those things where like he felt like you should always take my side no matter what. And do you go it wrong or do you take his side? It's kind of I don't know. Because I don't know how Shawn feels because he don't do nothing wrong in his mama's eyes apparently. So I don't know. Sound like the perfect son, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. I've known him for a long time, and I know his mama love him, and so I don't know. I don't know, but I don't
Right
know
is
that his
wrong.
mom, huh?
Right is right and wrong is wrong. And if I'm never
It
wrong,
is.
what can I say?
You will run far away, didn't tell your mama, right?
I surely would. I'll tell about her. Uh-huh.
But
Yeah.
look, it's a situation he told me. He told his mama when he got far away, like you were wrong for that, mom. But you made sure he was far away as an adult. So I'm like, I guess you got to look at it too, your mama, but. But like, I mean, I applaud y'all, boy moms, because like that's got to be hard. Like, you can give advice to a girl all day long, but how do you give advice to your son? So, to me, her hitting him with the pillow was like, would you just stop being silly? But what do she really say to him? He's 30 something years old. Like,
Right.
he's gonna make a decision. But other than do what you do, but don't come crying to me when it fails or
Yeah,
if
like
it
she
fails.
said, yeah. She said that basically, like,
Mhm.
okay, I'm out of it now.
Yeah. And what else can she do? Like, I wouldn't be able to sit around and watch my son do that. If I had a son, I would not be able to sit and watch him keep doing that. Like, I would be like, you are the biggest idiot in the world right now. Like, literally, who birthed you? Because it wasn't me. Like, I wouldn't have raised somebody that would keep being this stupid. Like, even if you keep getting hurt, but when you keep doing it by the same type, it's like, okay, you want to be hurt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like this must be what you like. This is your
Yeah.
foreplay.
Yeah. Like, you enjoy pain.
Yeah, you totally are S&M.
Yeah. But I'll give Deontay this. He did do his thing. So
But he's acting like a cuddly butterfly.
yeah, he in the end he had like a cuddly butterfly, but he put it down to the point where she was like, "Ooh, don't go so crazy so fast." So obviously, the things he said was actually true on what he named himself and how he, approached the situation. But yeah, he ended up a cuddly butterfly according to WeTV. Like he looked like a simp.
Yeah, he definitely looked like that. All right, so now we're gonna be at the couple that aggravated me the most this episode. We saw Reese get triggered. Y'all may see me triggered talking about them. Puppy and Amber.
Yeah, that one ended.
So we see Amber. She's dropping Puppy off at home. And so Puppy walks in the house. Eric's in there. She has a bag of stuff because her and Amber had also went shopping along with taking that pregnancy test. So she gives him some stuff that she had bought for him, and she tells him that they are going to go on a double date with Amber and her new guy. He doesn't want to go. I understand it. He don't want to go, and so he tells her that he has somewhere he needs to go. And she's like, oh, is it to your ex's house? And so he says back to her, but weren't you just hanging out with your ex? I was like, boo. That is very true. Very, very true. Alrighty. And so Amber comes over to visit Puppy. And so Amber starts her mess. She's sitting in the house. How are you sitting in this man's house? Eric comes out. He's about to leave. Where you going? I heard you didn't come home last night. Now I'm like, you are so out of line. And Puppy, you need to say something to her. Like, don't do that, Amber. That's not cool. Where do we do that at? And so, of course, Eric ends up getting aggravated and he walks out the house. So Amber's like, let's go follow him. Now, let me tell you something. I have done my fair share of car rides. I've done my fair share of following people. Did I do that to every man I had? No. Sometimes it was my friend's man. But there's just certain ways you go about it. All right. First of all, you're driving this high profile vehicle, this big old avalanche. You think Eric did not see y'all? No, first of all, you got to switch out your cars. You need to go in somebody else's car. You need to follow him in a car he's not expecting you to be in, and you stay further enough behind him where he's not going to even see you in this unmarked vehicle either. Um, and so they follow Eric down the road, follow him to some location. Now, as soon as you saw he turned off on a road that was like closed, y'all should have just did a U-turn and went back home. You know what? We'll catch him another day. But no, they didn't. Amber decides to pull into the same parking lot where he didn't pull into. He gets out of the car. He's upset, which is understandable because I'm going to tell you right now, if I figure out my spouse and their friends are following me, I'm going to be upset. I mean, I felt like that was understandable for him to be upset because it's like, why are you following me? Even if I've given you no good enough excuse, like, why are you following me? Don't come following me. I would have never did that. You never blow your cover. They blew their cover. And so Eric was a bit upset, and he ends up getting in his car and driving off and leaving. And then it was like Amber was, look at it, look at him angry, look at him angry, look at, yeah, he's angry. Who would be angry that you followed them? Like, I was just so upset. And then Puppy, you could tell she was visibly upset by it too. And Amber's like, I'm just looking out for you. I hope you would look out for me as a friend and la la. Like, girl, knock it off. Why couldn't you say, you know what? I kind of messed up in this situation a little bit because this was your fault, Amber. Let's get that clear. So that's why I was just triggered with them this episode because I was like, I'm not understanding this. What were you hoping to gain by doing this sloppy follow job? I don't know, but I want to hear some opinions.
Well, the it all was Puppy's fault. She should have stood up and said in the beginning, it's like, no, I don't think we should follow. Even though I think she did want to curiosity, wanted to find out for herself as well. So she allowed Amber to easily convince her to go ahead and follow. She should have stood up and just said, no, let's I bet not.
Look,
But
I'm gonna tell you from the queen of investigations.
mm-hmm.
I understood the need to. I'm not gonna say that if my man was behaving the way that Eric was, I wouldn't have followed him. But it's just the way they did it for me. Then I
Right.
also want to know anybody here, anybody else followed before or was involved in a following before?
Mm. No, I haven't been. Uh,
Okay, I guess just me. Okay, Racy. Okay.
Wait,
Okay.
I take it back. Not a follow. Drive by.
Okay.
Drive by and get out and not.
I've had my fair share of drive-bys.
Drive by and bang.
I
Drive
didn't,
by. You ain't gonna answer, so I'm gonna start blowing your phone up at this point because I'm driving. I know you there. Let me just mute my.
yeah, no, I was in a
She had to mute
I was
herself.
in a I hacked the voicemail figuring out where you're at location type thing.
Oh,
And he was actually there, but I just didn't see him. So
Heck a voicemail.
I did. I had his
Offline, we need to talk.
yeah, I had his voicemail code. I would watch how he dialed his voicemail and figured out his code. I did do that, but never followed. I would have never gotten away with that.
I ain't never heard nobody hacking the voicemail. I'm just like, whoa.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, got a voicemail. I couldn't get his location, but I knew what some of the plans were and stuff because it hacked into the voicemail.
Yeah, that's I knew they were
I
going
got
to
into social media.
Yes,
knew
you
they were
can.
going
You
to
can find their location by hacking into their social media.
Well, not location, but like found
Well,
out
you
stuff
can figure out the
based
location.
off of.
Look, you
I
can
ain't that
check
good.
out their location too. Because like
only
if
I
if
they
ain't
they
that
have
look,
good.
it
yeah,
turned on,
it'll tell you exactly where they're at with that phone.
if they have it turned on. But if they don't have it turned on, you can't tell. Are you
Well,
listening tonight?
I guess you gotta
Look,
hack.
Sean is not
I
even looking at the
like,
camera. Sean is like, I'm
Oh
gonna watch TV
my
on this end, this part.
God. God, I'm
Sean
having
like, I'm gonna watch TV because y'all crazy.
well, I don't do anything, so I ain't got to worry about anybody following me.
But these are things. Well, okay, yeah. If
but
you
you
if you
still
really
run
are
into
being a good
issues sometimes, and somebody may have to follow you.
no, but like literally, like my ex. I didn't say my ex-husband. Okay, so I hacked into the social media and found out some stuff that, or a female or whatever, because he threw stuff in the trash but didn't delete the trash. I'm like, so I mean, obviously, anybody watching, delete your trash,
Yeah.
dummy. That was stupid, but
delete your trash. That's a good one.
so
I never. Well,
delete.
this was
You
before.
delete, but it goes into your deleted files, and
Yeah,
so I
because I
saw
know
stuff that was deleted.
MySpace, if you deleted a message, it would go into the trash. So you need to delete your trash still.
That's where I found that was back in the MySpace days, because I even was like, "Hey, boo, how you doing, boo? What's up, boo?" And I'm like, "I don't talk to you like that, dummy." Obviously, I found something, So
I haven't. I didn't do social media. I just, like I said, I had his voicemail code, so I
Oh,
was in that thing all the time. I was obsessed. Because in my head, my mentality was, if I see it, then I can move on. But because you're always thrown out as being crazy or it's not happening, you're just making stuff up, oh, if I could prove it and see it for myself, I could finally let you go.
Yeah, you want that closure, but even that closure sometimes adds to the next step.
It wouldn't have mattered.
Not
I would
closure.
have seen him. I would have acted a fool, and then I would have still been there with
I've
him.
been there. I've been
Yeah.
there.
Sorry.
We all have, yeah.
Yeah.
Baby daddy.
And,
That's
and
the only one,
it's
though.
not
I ain't never
even.
did it after that. I don't care anymore. I don't care enough to do all that anymore. I don't want to be in a place.
Well, I
if
would
I
say I
feel
did do it
out,
one more time. I did it
yeah,
one more
I'm
time
just
after.
like done. I'm not even gonna sit here and stress you out about it because I'm not gonna stress myself out. So I had my
That's
one
good.
crazy
Yeah.
moment.
I think that's also age. Like as you get older, you kind of be like, you know
Yeah.
what? I'm
Like,
tired. Like
worth it.
I didn't feel like if I gotta do this, then what's the point?
Right. And then even with dating now, man, these men, it's just like it's crazy. I'd rather be by myself. I've heard a whole new song that I'm just like, you know what? I really like that song. I don't have to put up with your foolishness or your craziness. I'm good. So
But
it
puppy,
is what it
she
is.
said she want to do it though.
I know. I don't. I
Yeah.
just
But
imagine living that life now.
the other thing with Puppy is now she's pregnant. So she probably don't want to break up her little family either. So
No, but if she's gonna accept her place as being the side chick, then she needs to accept her place. Because the
Yeah.
part that's crazy is, like
Where he
when she
going?
was saying, "Are you going to go visit your ex?"
And
Well,
she
she's not my ex; she's my wife. Now, if he had came back with that, what would you have said? She would have just sat there with her little tail curled in her little whatever and just sat there. Okay, like she's not. She does. Like she said, she knows she's better. She knows she deserves better, but he's what she wants. So if all of that, you knowing and seeing and actually guessing that's what he's going to do, if it's not going to change your outcome, why even stress yourself out about it?
yeah.
No, he hasn't been home. Where else would he be? If he's not with his wife and he's not with you, then it's a possibility he's got another chick on the side. But obviously, he likes taking care of women because he's put her up in a house. So he's not threatened to kick her out or do anything like that. He just must want to have 3 homes he chills at.
Yeah.
But if that's what you're cool
And
with, I don't understand why you keep stressing yourself out about it. But I know hormones, don't get me wrong. I understand pregnancy hormones and all that, but she did just find out she was pregnant. And she doesn't want to tell him because she doesn't want to make him mad. Like it's just
that's
That's a
something
red flag.
I don't
it's too
understand
much.
That's a
about
red
It's too
flag.
much.
yeah.
And they're
That's
not even in their 20s.
A red
Like
flag.
it's just too much. Yeah.
yeah, that's something else
We ain't
that
got nothing red to wave. That's a
frustrates
red flag
me
though.
and that I don't understand about them. These unplanned pregnancies, but yet he has no reason to be mad at you that you're pregnant because he could have stopped that from happening if that's what you're so worried about him being mad.
That
Just like
part.
you should like she shouldn't be mad
That
because
part.
he in essence could
That
have done
part.
that. Yeah. So I don't
So
understand this whole surprise, I'm scared to tell. That's just something
so oh, I'm sorry. Were you finished, Johnny? 'Cause I
yeah,
was
I'm
like, I'm
done.
about to give my 2 cents.
I'm done.
First of all, so B, who comes on here every now and then, she
Mhm.
was commenting. She was like, I've been missing some of the content because she couldn't comment on here. She said for some reason it's not working. So she was texting me and she
Okay.
was laughing, talking about the MySpace days, and she had like the faces, falling over laughing. But
I'll be. I'm about to drop the link, and she needs to come because I know she got some good.
but see, she has.
Like,
I think that she hasn't watched it fully, but yeah, but she knows like these situations. She get it.
all right, tell
So,
her
B, if you
I'm
listening and you
she.
want to come in and just talk about your experiences with whatever, because some of this we with the show, but then we also like, hey. But what I was gonna say about Puppy and Eric though is like, to me that's a red flag. Like if you're scared to tell a man that you're pregnant, then it's not even like because like you said, 50% of the fault is on him. You knew when you slept with her with no condom. You knew when you didn't pull out, whatever the case may be, that if you left that in there and she gets pregnant, then 50% of it is your fault. 50%
Yeah.
hers, 50% yours. Just like the child is half and half, you know what I'm saying? Period. So to me, nobody can ever be mad. You can be surprised. You can be disappointed
I
in
don't
yourself.
even feel like you could be surprised. You may
Well,
be
well, I
disappointed
mean,
in
but
yourself,
you
but
got
it's like,
like,
what do you think was going to happen?
well, I
If I
mean, like in my case, like when I was with my ex-husband, like we weren't doing anything to stop it, and it never happened. So had it just happened suddenly, it'd be like, oh snap, oh
didn't know
Well, I
that.
was on birth control with one of mine, and it was
yeah.
like,
Or
what
in
the
that case, like
hell?
yeah, like you can be on birth control because I've heard plenty of people that's been on like the shot and got pregnant. Some people been on the pill. Maybe they messed up their
Now,
pill, but still.
I'm not talking about people like that because I do understand birth control can fail. Okay, yeah, that might have been a surprise for you. But if you're just out, out here doing it willy nilly, you
But I
wilding out.
guess because
I don't
he's been
understand.
with her for like 2 years and it didn't happen. So maybe he thought like I'm not fertile, she ain't fertile, somebody ain't fertile, so we good to go. But that's where you mess up at because you can't say who's fertile, who's not, just because it hasn't happened. Maybe she was on the pill for years or whatever, and suddenly it's done wore off now, and bam, pregnant. Or this is just that super sperm that got up in there that you know what I'm saying fertilized that egg that the rest of your stuff was duds, or maybe her eggs were duds up until this point. We just don't know because the body. You can't explain the human body, like
Right.
literally, you can't.
I
Like
mean,
why some people have them, some people don't. Some people miscarry, some people don't. Some people have endometriosis. Some, you know what I'm saying? Like some people have tubal babies. Some people, you know, it's you don't know why the body does what it does. Some men get 70 women pregnant and then there's one that they want to get pregnant they can't, you know, you just don't know. But so I feel like to me it's a red flag because of the fact that they weren't using protection, they weren't using apparently she wasn't on birth control, she still thought, you know what I'm saying, because to me
yeah,
if you're on birth control you'll be like I might have missed my period but I'm on birth control, so I feel like there's a good chance I'm not because I'm on
right.
birth control, something is just wrong, you know. But she was like, well you know, I missed my cycle, blah blah blah, whatever, you know,
Because
just like
she was like, well, it hadn't happened yet. So
yeah.
I'm like,
And
girl,
that's not a, you know what I'm saying? That's not a real answer, like realistically.
no,
I've never been pregnant, but I know good and well that that's not a realistic answer. Like just because it hasn't happened doesn't mean it can't.
right.
But in the sense of her being scared to tell him, that's a red flag. Just like him with that whole divorce thing was a red flag. You know, the fact that he was all like, well, you know, and then him saying, "Were you with your ex all day long? So you shouldn't get mad." He's got a valid point, but at the same time, you don't because you knew she was with her ex. You knew where she went. You dropped her off with the ex. So then to turn around and say you was with your ex all day long, and now I'm gonna hang out with mine. Well, I didn't know that's where you were going. You never told me. I didn't drop you off. We didn't talk about it. You know where I'm at. I don't know where you're going. So in her defense, she got a valid case on why she followed him. I don't know where you're going. You know what I'm saying? And then like I think Shawn had said it like she hold on, I forgot what he said about her following him. Shoot, I can't even remember. But like with her following him, oh, he was saying she wanted to. She could tell he could tell she just kind of wanted to or whatever. And it's true, she did. A piece of her wanted to follow. It was either Nene or Shawn that said it. A piece wanted to follow, but at the same time, it's like, um, can you really fault her? Like the way they did it was terrible. The way they did it was
Yeah,
bad.
the way they did
Like,
it,
the vehicle was obvious. You were too close. You know what I'm saying? Like the way I don't know. I feel like we said, there's plenty of other ways to try to find stuff out other than just getting in the car directly after him and following. However, I don't blame her at the same time because you can throw it in her face about the ex or that she was with her ex, but you dropped me off with my ex. You knew I was with my ex. I never hid that I'm with my ex. I hang out with my ex all the time. My ex is at the house. You know what I'm saying? And you've never said like, "Don't do it. I don't like it. Stop." So then you can't get mad about it. You can't be like, "Well, I'm gonna hang out with my ex now." No, not until we talk about it. Let me meet your ex. Let me go on a date with me and you and your ex and her dude, like we did with mine. You know.
Right.
And then I understand too why he don't want to go out on a date with Amber because, or with Amber because
like,
her ex last
yeah,
time was crazy.
yeah,
Yeah.
and the way she acts towards him,
Yeah,
she's
yeah.
told.
So, but yeah, and what you said earlier, this is my last point, was what you said earlier was completely unacceptable. a friend comes to you and vents about her man, you don't throw it in the man's face the second, because then that put Puppy in a really bad situation. Like, oh, so where were you last night? And he's like, well, who said I was somewhere last night than home? And it's like, well, you weren't home, were you? Who said I wasn't home? And then Puppy's like, I said you weren't home because you weren't home. Now you got her having to do a confrontation that obviously she wasn't ready for. And I feel like as a friend, that was a bad friend, because you don't throw your friend on blast, put your friend on blast, you know what I'm saying, at the exact same time that she going through the stuff. Obviously they having problems, so you don't cause more problems. And
Right.
that's why I say Amber she was messed up.
Yeah, she was messy this time. And I think it's when someone's in a better place, it's kind of like rubbing your face type thing, that I'm in a better place than you are in my relationship, and just keep pointing out all your bad in your relationship. And it's like, she's doing too much. Oh, my man's good. Oh, I'm in this great relationship. You need to get out of that. You know, you deserve better. You blah, 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 blah. But she's in it. All you can be is supportive. What do you want to do at this time?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like
Not going to.
yeah, she wants to see Puppy leave him. And it's almost like, she's helping to create the situation.
Hostility. Yeah. Because
Yeah,
who knows how he'll react with that when she's not around. Well, I'm not saying he's abusive. I'm just saying, like,
that part.
there's other ways to be mean to someone outside of abusing them, like physically hitting them.
Yeah.
But who
Mhm.
But
knows
he
what
could get
he's like.
abusive the way she act.
Yeah, he could
Or
be.
he may leave her.
He may leave, and that's not what she wants. She
Mm.
doesn't want it. So if she
And
doesn't
she has
want
a
it,
baby on the way. So just leave them alone,
leave it
Amber.
alone. Be a
Yeah.
friend, be a true friend, and be there for me. I'll just stop telling you what's going on, but just be there for me, because she's gonna need a friend
Yeah.
if that's what you are to me.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And I think Amber is a friend. She just doesn't know how to control herself. She's like, no, you're hurting my friend, and I'm gonna do something about it. Well, that's
Yeah,
not always the answer. That's not always the answer.
and we've
So,
always said, as women, not all women want to hear uh, what they should do or what they
mhm.
need to do. They just want to have somebody to talk to, because mentally they probably already know.
Because
They
you don't
just
want to
don't
hear
want to do it.
or they want to talk to you. Okay, so my philosophy is I'm going to say something, but I'm not going to keep on beating you down about something I've already discussed with you about. You already know how I feel. Why
Right.
is it every time I'm around you, I need to bring it up? I can't stand him. I hate him. Then when I'm in the room with him, I can't control myself. Now he doesn't look so bad. You are the one that looks bad.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
It looks
That's
like you're
true.
picking on him. Yeah. So that's my
Yeah.
thing. I'm gonna say something to you once, maybe twice, and I'm gonna leave that alone because at this point, you already know how I feel about it, what I'm seeing from the outside looking in. You
Yeah.
choose to continue on to do it, then you continue on to do it. But what
Yeah.
I'm not
And you say it
going to
to the
do,
friend. You say
yeah,
it to the
what I'm
friend,
not
not to
gonna do
him.
is be combative with your man.
Yeah.
That
Right.
I'm not gonna sit up and do. I'm not
Twice
gonna.
in one day.
Right, right. But he's the problem. All right. So next is Taylor and Chance. So it starts out Chance is looking at houses. I think you said this the last episode, Johnny. How in the heck does this man keep getting approved for loans?
It don't make
He
sense.
just got out of prison and he said he got approved for a $200,000 loan, home loan.
Never mind that he just freaking bought a $28,000 truck.
Right. And he hasn't been on his job a year.
And
I,
he said it has to be. And he said he has 6 credit cards. Like, this don't make sense. We know. I'm just saying, like, that's all it has to be, because it makes no sense. Hell,
mm,
I've been paying on my damn house. I've been paying bills on time for the last 4 or 5 years, and I still can't get a new
So they still want to
good
put a
credit
low limit
score.
on my credit card. Like,
You
what's
know
wrong with
what I'm
y'all?
saying? Like, it's like, you've got to be kidding me. And how the hell is this man doing it?
and then we're talking about with a background in bank robbery. Are y'all
Right.
kidding
On
me?
top of that, he even said, which I don't believe, but then I'm kind of like, maybe it's true, because he's got 6 credit cards. He said he charged $50 on one of his cards. He's going to pay it off tomorrow, and then he'll get 50 points. maybe they do a different Rubik's Cube for their credit scores. Because if I pay on my credit card twice a month, my score does not change. So help me understand.
I know it hurt me one time paying something.
Oh, he was saying 50 points towards credit score. I thought he was talking about 50 points towards like the the credit cards are like the points. I was like, oh, he said he pay off that and he get the points.
He said his score will go up 50 points when he pays the bill off, when he pays it off in a couple days. Because he doesn't
not in a couple days.
No,
not in a couple days. Yeah, no.
I was just saying, like,
or maybe it is really like what I just said.
Yeah, it has.
It's got to be because I know.
And what's his name again?
In my experience, no.
What's his name again? Chance what? It'll be nice. I would have to admit, I'm so tired, and this is a total soapbox, but I am so tired of having to put my race and my age and all that stuff on these things. I really wish that when it comes to credit, your housing applications, that you don't have to put anything outside your social and your job. That's it. You don't need to know my name. You have my social. You have what I make.
Well, maybe your name so they can mess it up. But
that's how they're also doing discrimination too, based on how you're.
That's true.
But it's true. Like, okay, I can give you my first initial and last name and be done. Yeah. Like, you shouldn't have to have all of this to be able to show the difference between how this man who's been in jail for 10 years has 6 credit cards, a brand new financed car, and got pre-approved for a house. Like, none of that makes sense.
And he's a bank robber.
Make it make sense.
And he's a bank robber.
Which means he's a potential fraud person. Make it make sense, because this just ain't making sense to me.
You know the sad part? Not to call people out, but I got this is the second time I've gotten a letter about Toyota discriminating against people of color. And mind you, I only got $100 and some the last time they had a settlement. And then this time I'm not even gonna waste my time because it said $11, which I should get that 11. I should go ahead and do whatever to get the 11 because it's my $11, but I don't care about the $11.
And I
however, but they were saying the problem was that because of race, people of color, not just Black, but people of color, period, they were giving us worse not credit scores, but interest rates. Yeah. And I'm and I thought I actually had a fairly good interest rate because I didn't know no better, until I talked to other people. And I'm like, oh, well, dang, my interest rate wasn't that great. But to me, it was good because that's what, based off of credit cards and other things, I was like, this is not bad. And my credit score was actually pretty good. So I should have had a better one. However, me not knowing any better, I was like, dang, this is good. This is a good interest rate. And I was like, and then find out because of my color, I was actually being discriminated against. And yet I'm still in the same family of cars. But, I like the abuse, I guess. I don't know.
I know, right? But that's what...
Because I still ain't changed.
Munchausen syndrome.
It is. Because I'm like, I still want my same car. I'm gonna keep this type of car. I've been driving this car for not this car, but this, Toyotas forever.
Yeah.
However, I do know that they don't like my type.
Yeah. Shame on you, Reese. You need to find a new car to support.
No, but who do you go to?
You've got Hondas. You've got all kinds of good cars.
I do like Hondas, but it's just I'm a creature of habit. Oh, and I love my car.
That's one thing I can't stand about us too. I'm sorry, I just started this whole new soapbox.
I'm a creature of habit. Period.
We support people who don't support us, and we still line their pockets, and that drives me crazy too. I don't care if it's 20 years ago. There's just certain things I don't buy. I can buy it now, but I still don't buy it. There's certain places I don't go. I just don't understand that mentality. Well, just because you can. No, hurt them in their pockets. That's the best way to hurt racists. Hurt them in their pockets.
But you need all of us to do it.
You do.
And that's the problem. Because I feel like if I say, oh, well, I'll never get another Toyota, there's still so many others that will. What difference does it make? And if I like the car, it's like, because I do like the car.
They had but yeah, I think that is true because even with my mom, she put $10,000 down on a car. 10,000. First, they were like, "Oh, yeah, right." That was the first thing. And I'm sitting there looking at my mom like, "Why are we staying here and giving them our money? If he doesn't believe we have it, let's go." You know what I'm saying? Then the second one was her interest rate was still 17%. And she put $10,000 down on the car. How does that make sense?
See,
And it
mine
was
wasn't that bad, but it's still apparently like because of my color, I still fell in love. So even if I got a legit, because I'm like maybe mine was legit. I don't know. When you say 17, but I do believe that you know what I'm saying they're not gonna be as fair to some people, and this is life. Like I mean, we have this problem outside of like love, life after lockup. As I got that's what we're supposed to be talking about. But when it comes to us, this is a problem across the board on a lot of things.
and guess what? It
And
wouldn't
it
be
sucks.
if we would stop filling out our race and our ethnicity. You don't need to know. All you need to know is
It is.
my first initial, last name, my social, and my job. That's it. Once you have all of that, you shouldn't need anything else.
Very true.
But I can say each one of us on this live, like we all have names that match the ethnicity. And that's the part that sucks. And it's like you shouldn't even be categorized because my name could be Susie, and that doesn't, you know what I'm saying, make me any less black. That just means my name is Susan, Susie,
Right.
whatever. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But people aren't gonna give me that name. Like I wouldn't go have a child and name it that because I'd be like, well, that's not really, you know, that name ain't for my kid. You know what I mean? When it can be, who cares?
I have
But yeah,
2 out of 3 kids that probably won't have any problems. And maybe that's what I'll start teaching them. Don't fill out your race and ethnicity. Leave it out
So,
there.
okay, so JC says there are many products
true.
and fashions we support that don't support us. Very,
Facts,
very true.
facts,
Very true.
facts,
Hmm.
facts.
Absolutely true. Okay, so we are also watching Taylor and Chance, and we see that Taylor doesn't know what Chance is up to, which I spoke on this last week. Big purchases you need to be talking to your spouse about.
Yeah.
That's just that. All right, so we know that Taylor took a pregnancy test and it's positive, and she's, oh my God, what am I gonna do? Girl, you didn't think about that before you was letting him beat your walls down. I don't know how we're gonna take care of a new baby again. Y'all, they are killing me with that. And so they go on a date, and so Chance he's kind of
Wait,
having
wait, wait, wait. We're gonna just run past what you said.
fun.
I had to turn my camera off on that. Oh my gosh. All right, go ahead.
The part about the walls.
Beating them walls down.
I mean,
I had to
you
do
gotta
this.
think about that before you start having fun. Yeah,
I'm
so they
like,
go on a
whoa.
date, and Taylor, she only wants to eat corn nuggets, which I used to love the corn nuggets from folks. It was a restaurant here. They're gone now. So they can be good. So I did understand why she was acting like that's the only thing she could eat. So since she's pregnant, she's nauseous. And Chance orders them some wine, but she doesn't drink it. Which to me, it seemed like she would have said, because we all saw when he ordered it. It seemed like she would have been like, you know what, I'm not drinking tonight. Just get yourself a glass, babe.
Yeah.
I
That's
didn't understand that.
for
Yeah.
somebody who's so worried about money.
Right. And so, yeah, so the food comes and she's like, the pizza's making her nauseous. So Chance, is like, what's going on with you? And it's like, I felt like she did this to change the subject. So she started talking about like him buying the truck and that she wanted him to start talking to her about the money and stuff like that he's spending. Um, yeah, so that was in this week. Any thoughts on that? Hmm.
Well, you know what? I'm sorry. Like, if I can't come to my man, and especially in the situation of Chance and Taylor, like y'all are in a good place. Like y'all engaged. Ain't nobody still married. You know what I mean? I get the hesitation on Puppy's part because her man's still married. And she's still trying to figure out, are you really gonna get a divorce or are you not? Are you still sleeping with your ex-wife, or are your wife, or are you not? Are we gonna be together? Or are we not? So I it's a red flag, because if you've been with me 2 years, you sleeping on me unprotected, all that, whatever, there's that chance. But I feel like with Taylor and Chance, like, why are you so hesitant to tell him? Because I feel like he'll be like jumping for joy if he knew she was pregnant. And then for him to be like, wait, so, and maybe they just hadn't showed the whole thing yet, because I think their scene was still going in the restaurant, but it's like, wait, you're nauseous. Wait, you don't want to drink alcohol. What's going on? And I'm like, come on now. Because I'd be like, hold on, this making you sick? Are you pregnant? Like, that'd have been my first thing. You don't want to drink? You pregnant? You know what I'm saying? Especially if you
Right.
used to drink Moscato with me, and I'm doing this Moscato for you.
Reese, if you turn down some wine, you are Johnny. I'm be like, are you pregnant, girl? Like, what's going on here? I'll be yeah, I'll drink with you.
I know that's right, but you know me, I'll probably still drink it anyway.
But my thing is this. I'm like, it's an obvious thing. So if you sit around and you know this person, like, man, you be throwing down bottles of tequila, bottles of this, bottles of that, and I order a bottle of Moscato, like the softest wine you can get. You know what I'm saying? Like Moscato, drinking Moscato, a bottle of Moscato is almost like drinking a bottle of water. Like, that stuff does not tear you up unless you probably drink the whole bottle by yourself and you drink it fast. You know what I'm saying? Like, really, Moscato is very mild. And so if you telling me, you know what I'm saying, you can't sip this Moscato, I'm be like, wait a minute, this ain't no freaking Chardonnay or nothing like that. This is Moscato, like sweet dessert wine. You don't want it? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you pregnant? My pizza is making you sick. When we sit and eat pizza every 2 seconds at the house, now all of a sudden pizza makes you sick.
Yes.
We eat pizza all the time at the house, and this is just cheese pizza. This ain't even pizza with stuff on. Like, you had like I got anchovies on it.
It was crab rangoon pizza.
Oh, okay.
That did sound kind of sick. It was crab rangoon pizza.
So it looked like, I didn't know that. I didn't hear that part. So, but it looked like cheese pizza. So that's why I felt like. So maybe the smell, because I know for a fact pregnant people got a stronger smell. Yeah, because when I was at church recently, one of the pregnant people came in and was like, "What is the smell?" And I'm like, I just really can't. It was something old that was sitting there, that had been sitting there for like over a week or whatever. And one of them came in like, "Oh my God, the smell!" And I'm like, y'all know, like, even after having surgery, my nose still on this side is jacked up. I still can't smell that much. So like, it has to be strong for me to smell it. Or something that's really something I can't stand, I guess. I don't know. But I was like, I don't smell it. I don't smell it. And they kept coming in like, what is it? So I know pregnant noses are way more stronger. I don't know it from experience, but I know it from hearing other people, like pregnant taste, smell. Like, it's just, I guess, the enhance of the taste, smell, and sight, whatever. But I feel like, to me, he's being super naive for him to be like, why can't you? You can't do this. You can't do this. What's going on? You know what's going on. Like, shut up. Like, that part right there, when he made I'm like, shut up. You know what's going on. You know she possibly could be pregnant. You're nauseous? Anybody know that somebody, if I was to sit here right now and be like, ooh, I'm feeling nauseous, be like, you pregnant? You know what I mean? That's just the natural response.
You remember that time she had to go to the hospital because he was double dipping in holes?
Yeah.
He asked her that time, like, well, do you think you're pregnant?
Yeah. When she freaking got an infection, you assume she's pregnant, but when she nauseous, you're like, what could be causing it?
Yeah, what's
wrong? But she got an infection, and you knew you went from B to A. You went from A to B and then back to A. When you weren't supposed to go back to A, you supposed to go from A to B, and then you clean it.
You forgot about it. He probably dipped it in C too.
That's what I'm saying. You went everywhere. Then you went back to A, and you were like, "Are you pregnant?"
Any hole he could find on her body, he was dipping.
Yes. And then at that point, she's saying, I'm in pain. Like, I'm in so much pain. Like, I can barely stand up. I'm hurting. Like, to me, that sounds like a miscarriage, if anything. Are you pregnant? But then when she's like, I'm getting car sick. Chick ain't never been car sick the whole episode. Since we've been watching this, she ain't never got car sick. All of a sudden, you car sick. All of a sudden, you're like, no, I want just my water. And that's all I want to drink is my water. Okay, that's weird. Then, you know what I'm saying? That's suspicious. Then the freaking, you know what I'm saying? The pizza, it smells and looks weird to you. You know what I'm saying? And none of these things trigger you to say, "Are you pregnant?" He better say it in the next episode. If not, I'm gonna send Brittany for him to punch him in the face because, like, you literally are being real stupid.
He is.
And I mean, that was their.
He's got A1 credit and can buy everything in the world. He ain't worried about no
Okay.
baby.
That's
He
true.
got
That's true.
6
That's
credit
true.
cards.
That's true.
Probably with
That's true.
high limits.
And then it's like now that she made the comment of, "Hey, I get that you bought that car, but that was for you." But you know what? She just talked herself out of why I bet you now, because I was thinking like she called him out on him buying stuff without talking to her, and he was like, "Well, the car," and she was like, "That was for you. The house is for them." So now he got a reason now. She just actually gave him an excuse to why he can buy it without talking to her, because he can be like, "Well, this wasn't for me. This is for us." Because she was like, when she was mad about it, she was like, "You're not even talking to me about large purchases." And he was like, "Well," she was like, "The car." He was like, "Well, the truck," and then she was like, "Well, that was for you. That's a valid point. That's for you.
Oh,
That
and
ain't
then
for us."
and then did you hear when he threw up? He was like, "Well, I haven't been taking extra jobs because I'm trying to spend time with you and the girls. The house is for you and the girls."
So he's trying to tell her basically he can make more money. Well, you know what? Make that money, because that part I just was kind of like, that was so douchey of you. It kind of reminded me of somebody I don't like right now. Or not so much don't like, but just like, what the hell? Why was I with that person so long? Oops. But he just sounded so douchey. Like when he said that, it was just so like, ugh.
Yeah. I mean, he's not.
If I had this, if I had that, just do it. Stop talking shit and do it.
Yeah. I mean, and in actuality, what he said about the house is actually probably that's probably the only thing. The car, I think, the truck, unless it's really helpful for his job, then I think he made a mistake. Like, he need to get the rims. The rims was not necessary. The truck maybe for his job. I don't know what he do. The house. Now, I will say what his plan was, like, for them to move in. It's a bigger house because I think she in like a 2-bedroom right now. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so at least that's a 3. And now he was talking about putting Bobby in like a storage unit type thing. Was that what he
said? Yeah. And I hope she don't go over there. We've seen
He's still trying to build her a mini home. He's still trying to build her a mini home. Now, if you can get her a nice mini home, like how you seen people.
Oh gosh.
No, you can't. Like, you can't do it. I've seen people do the mini.
No, I have seen people do it, but what I'm saying is we've seen what he can build, and it's garbage. It's trash.
It's garbage. It's trash. So really, like, if she ain't gonna be in, he needs a 4-bedroom, because really, like, what you build is trash. It's true. What you build is trash.
He actually needs a 5.
He needs a 5. He needs a
him, 5. Her, and the sister. And now they're finna have a kid. There's 4 kids. They need a 5-bedroom.
Technically, he needs a 5, but they could still get away with. I mean, they could get away with 3 because the girls are still small, like enough that they all still can share a room. And I'm not saying like they should do it, because by all means, like, move 2 of them to one, and then put the other 2 in another, and that would be 2. The sister have 1, and y'all have 1. 4 bedrooms be perfect.
4 bedrooms.
But I do feel like, now that I think about it, how garbage that garage was when they introduced it to her, because I feel like y'all pushed her in there too fast, and then she OD'd. So don't give her garbage junk, because then she'll OD again. Like, literally. Like, I would have too. Like, if I had to sleep where she was sleeping, like, I'd have been like, this drugs is better than this. Drugs is better than where she was at. Drugs is better.
That place was enough to
give her the heroin. The heroin was better.
Oh my God.
Amphetamine was better.
What else is it called? Blow would be better than.
Blow was better. Like, it was like just garbage. It was garbage. And I don't promote drinking drugs and all that stuff as an answer for nothing. Like, I do not promote that. But in that case, when I walked in there, I actually wanted to hand her a crack pipe and hit it with her, because I was like, y'all are wrong for that. Y'all are wrong. I don't even consider crack something I would even want to do.
Yeah.
But in that case, like, if I had to sleep in that garage on that old raggedy couch they had in there, like, I don't even know where they got that couch from. Like, where'd you even get that couch? Where did that couch come from?
In order for me to have laid on that couch, I would have needed some meth. Like, meth man, come on.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying. Where was the
yeah.
weed man, the coke man, the meth man, the crack man, whatever? Like literally OD me because I don't want to be here no more. This is where I kind of lay my head. You know what I'm saying? Like literally, like you caused this chick to probably want to commit suicide because she's like, this is what my life has become. This. And you look around and it's like, this is what my life is. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not cool. Don't put nobody in that position when you know their circumstance. So I do believe I agree. Actually, Johnny, you're right. Like that house, the outside was ugly, but the inside was really nice.
It was nice.
That was a
And
nice house. Yeah, that
the
was a
outside was ugly. I was like, when they showed the outside, I was like, whoa, shoot, that's ugly. Like on the outside, I'm like, that is an ugly, ugly house on the outside. But when they showed the inside, I'm like, it's beautiful on the inside. So I'm like, this is a beautiful house, like to get as a whatever. So if they could really give her, if they gave her a bedroom, put the kids in one bedroom, and they had a bedroom, that's still better than what they got right now. So, and then rent her house out. That's actually not a bad plan. That's not a bad plan at all. Like you can pay off your mortgage as well as pay that mortgage off with that renter in that house. So like I think he's onto something with that. Like, and I don't think that's a bad plan. I just think he needs to talk to her about it first. Because that's her house.
yeah,
You're not
exactly.
her husband yet. So don't sell her house without talking to her.
Exactly. And she got her own house, on her own. So you need to talk to her about,
Yeah.
is she comfortable with doing this? Now,
And
if
how
she
much does she
her
still
house,
owe?
yeah.
Like, is it gonna be worth it in the long run? Do we need property manager? You know, it's a lot to that. I feel like that she would need to think about before she says, okay, yeah, let's rent it out. Because does it need work? You know, because if it needs work, then we
Yeah.
know he can't do it. He can't do
I
it.
know.
He can say
Yeah.
he can do it, but he can't do it.
Yeah,
And
he
then
the
of course,
last
We
person.
get Branwyn before we get him. We
right.
get Branwyn before I get him.
Yeah.
Branwyn does a better job than he does. So
All right, Sean, you've been awfully quiet over there. Any thoughts on Taylor and Chance?
mute.
Shawn watching the
Yeah.
game.
Red
Oh
Zone.
my God, is it my game?
No, your game come on tonight.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
The,
Oh, offline, I got to tell you about a conversation that was had about your team.
Me?
And you know who it was? Yes.
You can tell him to go kiss my
You
Twitter
already
side. You can tell him to go kiss my Twitter side. Tell him where is his team at? Where's his team? In the garbage where they belong.
I think to
You hear
call.
this? You hear this? You Saints fan, because I see all that Saints mess on your neck. This dude talking about Eagles. Get out of here. Hey, Saints fan.
Totally enamored in the game. It
My
must be
son
a
is a
good
Saints
game.
fan because you're one of my besties. Bestie. Eagles fan is coming at me. Like, come on now, defend me.
but
Look, they're not coming at you right now. They were just
They're
doing it.
coming at me now, in my opinion.
Okay. Is there any people coming after her for the Cowboys in our chat? No, looks pretty quiet over there.
No, because people know not to do that mess in chats. That, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, you're a Cowboys fan, Reese?
Oh, you got something to say about that?
No,
Oh,
girl, I'm from Dallas. I'm
no,
a
Rick.
Cowboys fan.
Oh, yeah.
Look, high five up high, up high,
No
up high. Push it
way.
down, push it down. There you go, yeah.
Yeah.
Johnny Rissy was trying to Brittany you, wasn't she? I was
Well, I wanted to know because I'm tired of people always coming for my
like,
boys. So
I
we them
know.
boys.
But you know what? It's really, I always say
Hold
that's
on,
why
where's Sean at? We them
Cowboys.
boys.
I said that I must be
We
a
them
Cowboy.
boys.
Either love me or hate me. There's no in between.
You see that, Sean?
yeah, I
Did
hear
you see
you.
that?
No, he
Did I
didn't see
look
it.
at you? We them
Watch
boys.
TV.
you see
Shut
it?
up. You
She
shut
got
up.
a
Yeah,
ear.
We them boys.
yeah, I'm here with them boys.
You know, I always been them boys. I don't care if we lose every season. We still them boys.
It
We still
don't matter.
America's team.
That's right.
America's
We're
team.
true fans.
America.
True fans. True fans.
America's
Not
team.
Pathetic
Okay,
fans.
so
Not
JC,
Oh,
JC.
ATM. Oh,
Thank you, Jay.
JC, are you a Cowboys fan? Because how do you know this?
I know. We
How
got
do you
another
know
fan
this?
up there.
Are you a Cowboys fan, JC?
JC, don't jump down that
Or
rabbit
are
hole.
you a Bucks fan? Are you Bucks fan? Because I live in Florida, and I'm sorry, like I'll cheer the Bucks on if they're not playing my boys, but when they play my boys, man, butts can kiss my tootie tots. Tootie tots.
I like that. My two tots.
Shawn with the Saint stuff by your head, because I see it.
Yes.
What's that by your head?
Dallas Cowboys for life.
Wait a minute. Did you just see Shawn? He gave us the Branwyn look. Are we bothered, Shawn?
Wait, Shawn. Hold on, Shawn. Hold on, Shawn.
Shawn going to get her propaganda.
You need to go on and put. I'm sorry, I shouted out the comment before you put it up. Put that comment up there. You see that, Reese?
What is it?
He says Dallas Cowboys for life. Woo-hoo!
That's what I'm talking about.
Go them boys.
Wait, look.
I know that's right.
I knew she was going to go grab something. I knew it.
This right here happened to be like a little thing to store stuff. Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys. Some people know about it. Some people know about that.
Nice.
Some people send that to people as gifts. You know what I mean? Because they know that even though they're not Cowboys fans.
Oh gosh! Now you got me got to go find my stuff.
Wait, that's what I'm saying. Like even if you go to my job, like I got my Cowboy stuff at my job. I got jewelry. I done lost my jewelry though, but I got
earrings.
I got freaking tights and leggings. Well, leggings.
I have
freaking shirts.
You know what? That'll be what I'll do during football season. Put my little picture up where I have my Cowboy star right here on my eye.
Oh my god!
I feel like
I got a picture of being at a Bucks Cowboys game, and I was the only one with my Cowboys jersey. That's back when when Dez was still there. Had my Dez jersey on, and then I'm like, because it's like nothing but like red around me. And they were like, "What you doing here?" I'm like, "I don't care." Yep, we them boys.
Yep, we the boys.
Shawn, read that comment.
Yes, Shawn, can you please read the
Shawn, can you read that comment? Shawn, can you read that comment? Shawn, I didn't know if you saw it. Can you read that comment? It's like I can't quite see it. It's hurting my eyes because it's kind of little. Shawn, what that say? Shawn,
yeah, Shawn, tell us what.
Shawn, you getting sleepy? What that say, Shawn?
So we can hear.
As I was saying, Chance needs to talk to his wife, or his fiance, before he makes any decisions. The house thing, I agree with you all when you said that he needs to see if she is in debt or whatever.
Racy.
Not sure what happened there, you guys.
I ain't even gonna say what I think happened. Okay.
Which thing happened?
Huh?
You saying
what I think happened?
Yeah.
That she turned the camera off and not the mute.
Yeah, not the mute. Started talking.
She's like,
Missed the wrong button.
When it's like, no, we still see you. We still hear you. But not that. Chance and the We Them Boys. We Them Boys. Chance.
All right, so.
No, he was still going. He didn't read the comment. He was still going.
You all has not been Americans team since the.
Why that comment keep coming back?
Will you
never won a Super Bowl.
Trying to read it.
You haven't won a Super Bowl since the 90s. You won one playoff since the 90s. So I don't see the hype. You can't get out of the first round of the playoffs.
America's team.
Nah, y'all not America's team because
America's team.
America is no longer doing drugs like they was doing in the 90s.
Did you not watch Taylor and Chance?
Life after lockup.
Talking about America's not doing drugs
America,
anymore.
America
Yes.
is a
Hey,
bunch of
we're not
cheaters.
talking about life after lager. We're talking about real world.
America is a bunch of cheaters. So the Patriots is American team because cheating represents America right now. And the
You just
Patriots,
a hater on the Patriots. Like, dang.
well, they cheated. They're
Because they
cheating.
took y'all chances
America
out of
doing.
like a Super Bowl or
We
something.
cheat. We
Like
cheat.
they're like, oh, the
Uh,
Patriots must
then,
be like your Green Bay Packers for us.
no, they're not. They're cheaters and they've been busted as cheap. Now, like I said, back in the '90s, drugs was in. The Cowboys was in because they was doing drugs.
Ooh,
So now we got to go
whoa.
with the times. Go with the times. So if you are them boys for life, then
We them boys.
your history and your history tells you all that you are no longer
We them
them boys,
boys.
and you all are no longer America's team. Now,
See them boys.
yeah, uh-huh.
We them boys.
Yeah, that what y'all say at the beginning of the season every year. Y'all go in
I
the
say it
season.
We them
throughout the whole year.
boys. Yeah, listen, we still them boys. We just be mad at Jerry Jones.
When you start losing, then
We
it's
take it out on Jerry Jones.
and
Yeah,
Jerry
we don't
Jones
take it
need
out
to
on the
hurry up and
team.
move on. So
Take it on
that's
Jerry Jones.
the reasons for not winning the Super Bowl.
We
But
didn't win because Dak got hurt. Dak got hurt. Dak got hurt. Let us have Dak again, and we'll see where we go from there.
Y'all support hard in the beginning, and so
Support our heart all through.
We
No,
do. We are not fair weathered friends.
oh yes, y'all do.
No, no. If you're a Cowboys fan, trust.
We
No,
are
trust
Cowboys
anybody right
fans.
now. Anybody right now that's a Cowboys fan,
Continue
you're
on.
a Cowboys fan.
Uh-huh.
Now, if the Cowboys win the Super Bowl this year and we get new fans, now those are fair weather fans. Those are bandwagon fans. Those are the ones who didn't care about it when Dak was hurt. Them the ones who didn't care about it when we were losing, when Romo was getting like jumped on, knowing that he had bad ribs, and the refs wouldn't call it like they called it for Tony or for oh boy from the Patriots, Tom Brady. Like how they were like, no, you lay him down softly. No, they let him like hit him and break his ribs again. Yes. Those are not Cowboy fans, but the people who are fans right now, we just always hopeful every year. We're hopeful every year.
Yes, y'all go in the year strong every
Yeah.
year, and then round
And
week
when they fellas, we're
4,
like, what ain't? Here we go again,
week
Cowboys. What we
5,
doing? But we
week
still,
6,
when we win, we like we
week
won.
7,
Fine.
you know,
We
then
think we can win our division though, so we
y'all
can be
start
we
to
bank on that.
y'all are not as strong and not as hype as y'all were in the beginning of the season.
No, we just know we'll win our
And then
division.
out of
As
the
long as
two
we win our
of you
division at least, that's
and
something.
between the
We
two
just
of
gotta beat
you
the
all,
Eagles. Whether
and
beat the Eagles or the no name confused, what are they, Commanders now? Whatever they are. Them Reds, they're not, no more Redskins, no more whatever, Commanders. Dumbest name ever. But our one team that embarrasses us because they don't have a real name and they're confused, the football team, aka Commanders. As long as we beat them and we beat the Eagles, we're good. Because we know we'll beat the Giants. You mad, bro?
and between the two of you all, as long as we've been doing this show, because y'all so hard and so dedicated to the Cowboys,
Wait
this
a
is
minute.
the most that I have seen you all talk about the Cowboys.
Now you know what, Shawn?
Football season ain't every time we had a show.
I'm gonna
Football
get Shawn.
season is not every time we had a show.
Look, this between me and Shawn. Let me do this. I'm gonna do this to get to Shawn real good
Go
because
ahead.
Shawn acting a fool right now.
No, I was trying to talk about Chance, but they want to talk about them boys.
Let me do this real quick. Shawn, let me get him back.
Oh,
Yeah, I did the wrong one. Now, see, I have been on your side for a lot of things, Shawn. And usually, when you get the crowd, when we start talking about all men, and you're like, no, it's not all men. I have your back every single
mhm.
time. Now, you just threw me in a lump of Cowboys fans.
Oh no, no,
I
no,
have
no,
nothing
no,
against
no, no.
them.
Hold on, Edie.
Threw me in there.
Hold on, Edie. I wasn't talking about you. I was talking about them two. Them two know who they are. Them two Cowboys that
Pull
talk
me
about
back
them boys.
then.
Okay.
You pull me back then.
Them two.
You
Not
don't leave me
you.
backstage.
Not
I
you,
needed a
Edie.
moment with Shawn.
You
I
left me
needed a
backstage.
moment.
I'm like,
Not
pull
you,
me in.
Edie.
Pull
Not
me in,
you.
coach.
Not you, Edie. As I was saying.
Yes, we're true. We're true.
Jay says, yes, we're
JC.
not Patriots fans
JC.
that become Buck
JC.
fans. We're
JC.
Like I said,
JC.
since we've
A
been doing
Saints
this
fan
show,
about this.
This is the most that I've seen.
A Saints fan bought that for me
Two
for
of you
Christmas.
all down there. The two of you all down there.
I mean, that's
Oh no,
funny.
for my birthday. My bad. A Saints fan bought that for me for my birthday.
Oh wow! Oh, I wonder who that was.
I don't know.
Cowboy
Saints
section.
fan caught buying Cowboys stuff. Like,
Ah.
Saints fan didn't keep it. The Saints fan didn't keep it.
Saints fan had to walk around with Cowboy stuff.
Nah. When I was in the early 90s,
Was it rap, Tracy?
when I was early 90s, I was a
It
Cowboys
was.
fan. When I
It
left
was
my
wrapped in
house,
like it had like a little Cowboys
when
bow
I
on it and
became a
stuff.
man, I put away
And like
childish.
a bow.
So
You put away
Wait, did
childish things.
yes, I put away
Tracy,
childish.
did you hear what he
But as
said?
a man, he
Nah.
does not come with a bow.
Did you just hear what Shawn
It wasn't
said?
for me.
He put away childish things, but this came as a man. This came as a man because I didn't know Shawn as a boy.
Anyways,
My bestie bought that for me.
the two.
And you see what's on his neck right there?
Mm.
So what?
I said, my bestie bought that for me. And you know what's on his neck right there? What's on your neck?
Looks like Cowboys color.
On your head. I mean, on your back of your couch.
My blanket, my Saints blanket.
Yeah.
That's always there. Every time y'all see it. Always
Okay,
there.
I got you, Shawn.
During the beginning of the season, during the middle of the season.
But you got a soft spot. You got a soft spot for
Cowboys.
Cowboys. You got a soft spot. Just like you, Nene, can tell your friend how he always knows. Oh, I had forgot that they were playing tonight. And I'm like, thank you for reminding me, Nene's friend. Because he always knows what the Cowboys is doing. And he always lets me know, y'all got a game. Y'all got this.
I do have to admit, and Sly will
He know more about Cowboys than me.
a lot of information about the Cowboys, Shawn. I thought you were a fan too.
Let me explain.
Nene's friend knows more about it than any of us.
I'm about to explain.
Johnny,
why
Nene's
friend
is hold on. Johnny. Nene's friend is a Eagles fan who is actually Cowboys #1 fan.
Ah, okay.
Undercover Cowboys. Undercover.
Because they know exactly what we're doing at all
He
times.
know about the Cowboys back in the 40s. Now he be like in 1940. I'm like, how do you go that far back?
Damn, how you know that?
Cowboys, I don't even think they was a team back then. He knew they would be a team before they was a team.
I know, I was gonna say, goodness.
Because his grandpa,
years, decades.
Grandpa said about the olden days with the Cowboys.
Yeah.
The olden days. Oh, okay.
But we ain't gonna talk about how when his team won the Super Bowl, they had fans eating dog poop or horse poop, whatever that was, because Eagles fans don't know how to act when they won one Super Bowl their whole life. But man, and then Saints fans be undercover on Cowboy fans all the time.
No, the reason why I know so much about Cowboys is because I have a lot of Cowboy fans. And every time they lose, they come calling me. Oh, we should have did that. Why so and so playing? Why this? So I know a whole lot about the Cowboys because I have to basically cry on my shoulder. Then I take.
First of all,
say,
no Cowboys fans are crying on your shoulder
because this Cowboys.
Well, Rizzy, that's what he's saying.
No,
it's
so
probably true.
No, because you know what? I'm gonna represent for the other person he's talking about.
Not person, people.
I'm gonna represent for the other people he's talking about. There's multiple people because I'm cool with those people. I'm cool with those people too. I know for a fact there's one at a job, and then there's the other bestie is a Cowboys. Now, how you got two besties that are Cowboys fans if you ain't no Cowboys?
Not two. It's not one person at the job. I got at least 4 or 5 people at the job.
Yeah, but I'm talking about how your two besties are Cowboys fans. How your two besties?
They always
crazy. That's how he knows so much. He watches the game with them.
No.
Your two besties are Cowboys fans.
I don't even watch football like that. I watch the red zone, which I get to watch the highlights of every game while it's going on. So I don't sit and watch a whole football game. All right.
Well,
so
all I know is we only got about an hour before our game comes on, so I'm hoping we can finish up the last few couples.
We just got 2 couples.
No. Y'all the ones
I
that
can
want
go
to talk
watch it
about
on my
boys.
brand new TV.
Sean,
I want to
you
talk about boys.
antagonized Reese about the Cowboys.
No, I did
Started all
not.
of it.
You started
antagonized.
this here when you talk
Am I
about.
looking at him?
Yeah, you're right.
So as I was saying before I was rudely interrupted, Chance, not by you, Nene. You good, Nene. It's not you. It's the two on the bottom. It's the two on the bottom. You know, I'm so glad.
Johnny,
Allies. Sean,
he's
we're
never,
allies.
Right,
he's
I'm so
never
glad
acting like that with you,
you
Johnny.
put us on top and put
You
I
say
know,
Cowboys, and
right?
all of a sudden he's funny with you, right?
I
bottom.
see his
bottom.
true colors.
Oh my God!
All
You see,
the time.
he's smacking the top of your head and
I
everything.
know,
Like
I
you ain't
feel.
nothing.
That's
You ain't
He's
nothing.
being abusive.
You
Did
ain't
y'all
nothing.
see that? He hit me.
Me and
That's
Sean
right.
have been friends for a long time,
And
and
he's
he's smart.
proud of it. Did you hear him say
And
he's
he
proud
short
of
head
it?
like
I
nothing.
surely did, and guess
No.
what? I'm gonna do it again. Now again,
Well, I
may
will
I
never take
continue
your
with my
side
thought?
again, Sean.
Don't you talk about them boys, but we them boys. Put that comment up again. I think he forgot who we are.
That's right. We are. We right down here
JC.
with the comment. Go ahead,
JC. JC. Johnny. JC. Who we them boys? What were you saying, Sean?
Are y'all finished?
What were you saying, Sean? So I want to make sure you know that we them boys.
I'm ready to listen now.
I'm here. Look, I
Look,
didn't put
they
my
opened
cowboy
the
ear
floor to you, Sean. They opened the floor, and you're still trying to antagonize them.
We're listening.
Now I just told you we was good, Needy, and you up here.
We are good. But you know, I like to twerk on the fence. You know that about
She
me.
did. She did. Did you say twerk on the fence?
Yeah.
She said twerk on the fence. Like literally, I'm imagining Nene like twerking on the fence. I ain't never heard that.
You know,
Only my sister would say something.
I can admit that I do it. I do it. I do it from
She
time to
twerks
time.
on the fence. She twerks on the fence.
Okay. No, don't fall now. Watch that balance.
Sean can't even. He was like,
No, I
he
can't
never
pick a
saw you in
side
that
all the
light.
time. So I just get
Sean,
on the. I be
he
twerking.
never saw you in that light. He was like, Nene twerking on the fence. He had to mute on that. He said, I ain't never saw you like that. I never thought about it.
Yeah,
He said,
okay,
Nene
back on.
twerking on the
You
fence.
can only talk on commercials.
Is the Saints playing?
No, they already. I think they already lost for the day.
Did they lose? Ooh, did they lose?
She don't know what she's talking about.
Did the Saints play? No, that's for real.
I'm fixing to look and see. Hold on.
And the Saints won 27.
Oh, damn. They won by a point. Damn.
Who's your quarterback? Like, no, for real. I'm being for real. Who's the quarterback?
Jameis Winston.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I forgot he on y'all team. Mm.
Now,
y'all should be cheering for the Cowboys then. James Winston was a buck. Y'all should be cheering for the Cowboys. You don't cheer for his old team. That's your quarterback.
I didn't say that I was going to be cheering for Tampa Bay.
I'm just saying, if they playing the Cowboys, who else you gonna cheer for?
Well, whoever Tampa Bay play against, I cheer for the other team. So it's not about the Cowboys. Yeah, they just had to be playing the Cowboys this week.
Who you cheering for tonight?
There we go. Draw. I hope it's a draw.
Draws are stupid. We're not even gonna vote. We're not even.
That's why I wanted to do a draw. That way, none of y'all happy.
What about
but
me?
Then that gives Tampa Bay it gives Tampa Bay an edge. You don't want that because that was like what kept the Eagles in the game was that stupid draw last year or whatever. And I'm like, dude, that's dumb. Like you pretty much lost. You didn't, whatever. I don't like the Eagles. I don't like the Eagles. I don't like the football team, and I don't like the Giants. And I don't like the Green Bay Cheeseheads.
Okay. Well, Sean, did you get out all your thoughts about Chance and Taylor?
He didn't.
I didn't get any out talking about all of them.
I thought you started it. I thought you
Yeah, I
started.
did. I just
I
started.
forgot you started antagonizing them. That's what you started. I got confused.
Okay.
Yep.
Uh,
Facts.
yeah,
And then she done ran off the
it's my
screen.
false fans. I'm sorry that y'all had to listen to all of that foolishness because I
Reese,
intended.
we can hear you giggling.
Uh, but Chance do need to talk to his fiance about what's going on before he makes any business decisions. As don't know who, because we went on this here long little talk, was saying about the person, Taylor, and her house. Don't know if she owned the house, don't know if she paying off the house. So he had the mindset to go ahead on and what you call that thing? Try to
So Jay, look, y'all keep on. He said that ain't.
when the last time the
Ain't.
Cowboys won the Super Bowl?
I think it was. Is this the Aints?
Go
Who
ahead,
won the Super Bowl in 2010? And never mind.
JC, tell me when the Cowboys won the Super Bowl last.
Meaning they've only won one out of how many years?
Yeah,
It don't matter.
won in
Then we
2000.
weren't like,
We
aren't
won
we the
in
team
2000.
that's right after the
Can
freaking
y'all win
Patriots?
playoff games out of the 90s? Y'all stuck in the 90s.
Actually, we're like right under, like, who is it? The Patriots and the
Yeah, like
Steelers have the most rings. And then we're in the next category. Are y'all with us? Are y'all with us?
Oh boy.
It's the Saints. I'm not the Saints, but sorry, the Patriots and the Steelers. And then right under that, you got Cowboys and some more people. Are y'all with us?
Winners.
Y'all with us?
No, we're not.
That was awfully kind. All right, well, Sean, come on, tell us about Taylor and Chance. The rest of your
Yeah,
thoughts.
Taylor
No,
and Chance.
I think I'm done for the day.
Oh,
Yeah,
you don't. Well, I think I'll
yeah,
be able to drag you
'cause
back
Good
because
job on the Saints win though, because I don't have nothing against the Saints. I don't really care for Jameis Winston like that because I like Drew Brees. But congrats on the win. Oh, you're so rude. You're so rude.
look at him.
I'm
We
being
got to go back
honest.
to watching his show. He's getting unfocused.
I was being honest because I have been a fellow, like, you know what I'm saying? Because one of my besties is a Saints fan, I support the Saints unless they play in my team.
It's too funny.
But I have a feeling I'm gonna be able to get him back because
I'm gonna have to cut off who I consider besties. If they're besties want to act like that now, then besties don't do besties like that. To me, that was like what Brittany just did to a girl. Like, you just punched me in the face.
Oh, did you compare that to getting punched in the face in front of your
I
job?
did. I did. I did.
Oh my
I did because
goodness.
sometimes I telework.
That's
This is
tough.
my place of work. Sometimes I telework at home. Sometimes you just punch me in my job on my day off.
He'll
If I get
respond.
fired on my day off,
He'll respond on commercial.
if I get fired on my day off, then we know something. We know something.
Day
Wow. And he ain't come back. You know what this is also reminding me of? Marcelino. Marcelino.
Oh, he couldn't respond on the phone.
Marcelino. I said congrats on the Saints win.
He's
Keep it up. You don't want to be friends no more. Ooh.
Are you trying to give him an ultimatum?
I did. And he's choosing Saints. And I said congrats on the win. Like he didn't choose it when I was bashing the Saints. He chose it when I congratulated him to cut me off. I say congrats on him, and I was being serious. You
gotta stay consistent. If you're gonna beat up on his team, you gotta continue to beat up on his team.
No, I'm gonna be a sandwich. I'm gonna build you up, tear you down, build you up.
Okay.
I was on the last build up and he shut me down. So I'm like, you just messed up the sandwich. You You build up, tear down, build up. So you don't leave somebody just stranded in the dangly. I was like, at the end, I put the last piece of the bread on there. I'm like, here's the sandwich, and I'm like, but congrats on the win, because I do think Saints is a good team.
Yeah, maybe he'll
I
come.
don't like Jameis Winston. I don't like Jameis Winston. I mean, because I'll give him his props, but I don't think he's that great of a. Well, you know what? I don't know. I ain't gonna say how great of a quarterback. I just know him from Tampa, and I didn't think he was that great here.
Okay.
And
Well,
I
maybe
feel
he'll
bad
come
because Drew
back.
Brees is down. I like Drew Brees.
Okay. Well, okay. So our second to last couple, because we just got two more couples to go. We got Shawn and Sarah. So finally, we see a wedding. So we see
Finally,
Sarah. She's preparing for the first look. Um, that's where you get a chance to see your bride or your groom before the ceremony, before you guys go into the church and do their thing. And so she's standing there waiting for the first look, and Kelly comes up and starts talking to her, which I didn't understand why you needed to interrupt her during her first look, and then the first look didn't end up happening. I didn't really understand it, but I haven't been understanding Kelly's behavior lately. But at least she didn't start this drag out fight with her. But it was, to me, I kind of was laughing because it was like, she's like, Shawn is a liar. And Sarah's like, I know, but that's better than what I dealt with before because he doesn't beat me. He doesn't cheat on me. And it was something else. She said, he doesn't put his hands on me. So that's better than what I've had before. So,
Oh, he no, she said he treats me nice.
oh, yeah, he treats me nice. And so that's better than, what I've had before. So I know what you're saying to me. So that was funny to me. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's, well, I guess you're progressing in your life now. That's better. And so they get married. Oh, we see Shawn. He talks to his daughter Gracie. Um, I don't know. The only thing I can say is I'm hoping it touched him in a way because it's kind of hard to watch a child say, how they feel or they felt abandoned by a parent or something. So it's as a mom, I felt bad watching her say some of the things that she said, but she got it off her chest. So hopefully now their relationship can be mended. Hopefully Shawn takes that opportunity to mend his relationship with his daughter. So him and Sarah, they get married. Um, Destiny did not come. Now this is my whole issue with Destiny not coming. I'm not saying I wanted her to show up and act a fool, but it was like, what was her purpose this season if she didn't come to the wedding and act a fool? We just watch her scenes for nothing. Then the other thing that kind of bothered me was Destiny was on the phone because she was in labor, or at least we believe she's in labor. And so she was on the phone. She had called her ex and was like, yeah, I'm going to the hospital. I'm 7 months pregnant. And she had a vape in her hand, or what looked like a vape. Did anybody else see that?
Yeah.
I'm like, that's why you're in labor right now. That baby can't take that nicotine. Like, put that vape away somewhere. That vape needs to be the last thing in your hand at this moment. You need to be worried about this child. So it leads off with, as far as we know, she did not get on the plane, which is a good thing because it's 7 months. I don't think you should really be flying 7 months. But she didn't get on the plane. She did not ruin his wedding or anything else. Um, and so that's kind of how their scenes ended this week. Any thoughts on Shawn and Sarah?
Yeah, Kelly she keeps tagging on to the bitter baby mama club. I think she was trying to ruin their wedding and she wasn't able to. So, and then she said she had to stop because she was so sweet and nice and she just at least it wasn't a fight. No one was fighting but you. Like, you weren't going to tell her anything she already didn't know unless you were going to say he's still sleeping with me, which she wouldn't believe you anyway. But I'm glad to have seen them finally walk down the aisle. Their long stroll down that what is that little walk they did past the
The
water and
one
all that stuff.
is, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, that was a long walk to
Yeah, I was the guy who she has flats on.
I thought somebody was gonna pop out of the water. Maybe Destiny was gonna come out on the side of the water or something. it caused the scene, the extra dramatic effect, or they were gonna fall in or whatever. But that was just a long scene. Um, it was good that he got to talk to his daughter. I do think it's funny how they're both in the same household, his daughter and his son, and they both have different viewpoints of the situation. So it was cool seeing her viewpoint. His son didn't feel that way, so one out of one feels a certain kind of way about their father and his absence, I guess.
But
Um,
that tends to happen with children. You'll see, I mean, there's certain things that me and my sister have even talked about our childhood, where she sees things one way and I see them another. So sometimes
right.
it happen when you have multiple kids in a home. So yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying like it was cool hearing both sides. Like,
Hmm.
he actually listened to both of them. He didn't just take what his son said and ran with it. He
Yeah.
was open to hearing everything. Um I do think it feels kind of weird that how did Kelly know she was out there waiting? Um
Oh, production told her.
yeah, I was gonna say we probably told her because that was just odd. And she wasn't upset with Shawn that she was there. And then I kind of thought she was going to turn around and run when they were walking down the aisle because she was sitting there like, "Oh, I'm getting really nervous. I'm getting nervous." So I wasn't sure if she was going to finish or not because she looked like she was about to pass out. Um, their vows are very sweet. I like their vows. They were sweet and to the point. And I guess that's it. I guess we'll see how their marriage lasts.
Yeah, I agree with what you said. And sorry about that. I feel like with the kids, I do like that there was 2 points of views because I don't like the fact of making Sarah feel making I'm glad we didn't make it look like she was just making that up because obviously somebody has said that they feel this way for her to say and for her to be as emotional as she was. Because I'm like, again, I don't have kids, but I know this from being a child from a not from a relationship, but like in a household that was kind of crazy at times. Um, like what the kids say does matter, and what the kids feel does matter. Like eventually, like because the stuff you take from your childhood goes into your adulthood. So if you had like this wonderful childhood, you're not gonna understand for people who had like bad stuff happen in their childhood, you know. And so while one kid, which just happened to be the boy, I don't know, maybe boys just see things differently too. Um, he let Shawn know, like, hey, what mom said may be true for some, but it's not how I feel. And
Right.
I don't think you're a bad person and I can see past whatever. And that's respectful because like if he can see that and he can, what I'm saying, look past Shawn's faults and his whatever, because we know like Shawn has made himself clear he's a liar. So if he lied to all his girls, I'm sure he's lied to his kids. He's lied to Kelly. You know what I mean? And to me, that's the worst thing to do when you lie to kids, because some kids don't forget that. Maybe the son did, the girl didn't. So I can respect how the son feels because he feels how he feels. And you can't take it away. You can't, whatever. You're not going to change it until Shawn does something to that son to make him feel differently. So it is what it is. And so I'm glad he had at least somebody on his side and we didn't have everybody come down on him. But I'm also glad that we also showed the other side with the daughter who was like, because, she's in other episodes crying and stuff. And again, I still stand on, she looked older in the other episodes. Like now, like she went backwards in time. Like now she looks like a high schooler versus somebody who's out of high school. But
They
anyways,
like,
yeah, the haircut makes her look like a kid. But like she's shaped like a woman. So I mean, hey. But she I am glad that she was honest with her dad. Like, hey, yeah. She was happy for him and everything else, because that's reality. You kind of gotta, regardless of what's going on, like you had to see that this man really is happy. And whether, regardless if he was gonna be happy with your mom or whatever, or happy in the family that he created with all 6 of them kids, he legit look I believe he's happy with Sarah. Like I do believe that. Like I don't think this was just he just trying it out to see who's gonna take the bait, and then finally, oops, she said I do and this and that. I really think Sarah makes him happy. So I'm glad that the daughter acknowledged that because they're seeing emotions that they've never seen out of this man, and maybe just maybe being with Sarah is going to be that thing that helps prepare that relationship. Simply because he's actually opened up his heart, whereas before it seemed like maybe he was heartless. I don't know,
Right.
but that's where I'm getting. That's what I'm seeing out of this, but I could be wrong. But what I'm seeing right now,
Yeah,
is that he's showing more emotions now with her than he showed with anybody else. And maybe it's because now he really has fallen in love. And now he's like, wait, my heart feels like this
yeah.
now.
I'm hoping so because he said something on the last episode that kind of bothered me. It was like when he was telling his son that he left because he grew up with his dad beating on him and he didn't want to beat on those kids. And I'm like,
Oh, yeah, now that's not
that's your
cool.
excuse. And if that's your excuse to leave, does that mean you went on, had a baby with somebody else, and you may leave this baby?
Yeah, well, I mean, because
Or
once the
did
baby
you?
comes, them same feelings of abuse is gonna come back. Because eventually you're gonna want to spank that baby. Like no child goes without one. You know what I mean? Unless you just birthed out the perfect baby. And I feel like there's not one child that doesn't drive a parent to want to spank them because I'm not a parent. I've been around people's kids and I'm like, ooh, they probably should get a spanking right about now. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not even a parent. And I'm like, ooh, probably should. I think it's okay now. You know what I mean? For those that believe in spanking or timeouts. Hey, you don't believe in spankings, then time out your kid right now. This is the time for the timeout. You know what I mean? I've seen it.
Yeah.
But so if what you're saying, like you said, if that's the case, then yeah, that doesn't leave warm fuzzies at all. Like it's like, oh, so you left us because you were so scared you gonna beat us like your dad beat you, but that doesn't go away. Because I've known like men who were in abusive, like were beat by their dads, they tend to beat the women or whatever. I don't know. Just my experience and what I've seen, that doesn't really. If that's the reason, then that's not a good thing. Like then Sarah might be in trouble. But I pray for Sarah's sake because she said when she talked to Kelly and was like, "This is the first man who's yeah, he's been alive." Because I'm like, why do you want to marry him? Like, what is it about him that makes you want to marry him? And when she said it today, I was like, okay, I see, I understand now. And so for her sake, I hope he is only a liar and never the other things. That abuse or whatever that he experienced with his dad never comes out because, and maybe it won't because apparently he didn't abuse them and he was in that relationship for a long time. So hopefully that's the case.
Yeah.
But, I understand now why. Because honestly, like maybe dealing with his lies and his little petty lies, maybe it's easier than dealing with a man busting your head every 2 seconds. So I can understand where she's coming from now. After today, because I really didn't understand like what is it so special about him after everything he kept doing throughout the episodes. I'm like, why do you still want to marry him? Like, I mean, I get it, you're pregnant, this and that. What is it about Shawn? Because he just every 2 seconds he's lying about little things, not even like life or death, or if I tell you the truth, I'm going to jail. Like if I tell you, yes, I robbed that bank, I'm going to jail. It'd be like, no, I'm actually 42, not 43, or I'm actually 45, not 42. And it's like, why do you lie about stuff like that? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I
Things
mean?
people
So
can find out.
stupid, and it's stupid stuff. It's like petty. Like, what does that 10-year age gap when you look 10 years older already? Anyways, what did that
Yeah,
change?
because
Like,
he looked really old, I felt like, on this episode.
no, he was a lot older than her. I mean, and it
He
could
But
be
is,
because he's
isn't
so
he? He's
little.
almost 20 years older than her.
Oh, I thought it was like 10. Okay, so
Isn't
20.
she in her
But
20s? Is she in
if
her
she's 20,
30s?
she's late 20s. If she's 20s, it's late.
But he's
She's the
47,
late
isn't
20s or early, huh?
he? He's 47 though.
So she could be late 20s. Yeah, it could be 20.
Yeah, I think it's like a 20-year gap.
Yeah. But my thing is that, like, that's something that can be found out. So if you lie about something that's easy to find out, because, like, all she had to do is Google his name, Google his phone number, and you could actually find out his age.
Yeah.
It's too easy if you really want to know. So it's like one of them things, like, if you lie about that, like, what? Like, that's, to me, that's scary when people lie about stupid stuff. Like, lie about something that's going to lie because you don't want to lose me. Lie because it's going to send you to jail. Lie because it's gonna cause like trauma, turmoil. You know what I'm saying? Don't lie just to lie. Like, don't be like, oh, my favorite color is purple when it's really blue, just cause. Like,
Yeah.
what's the point of that? You know? So, in my opinion of them, like, I'm like, okay, I'm glad that it finally happened because we already knew they was married. So it's good to finally see it happen. I'm glad Destiny wasn't there because Destiny didn't belong there. Destiny needs to be put off the show. Like, her
She don't have a
situation
purpose.
isn't really. Yeah, she has no point on the show because even her saying her reasoning and she's coming after him for money and all that, it's stupid. It's pointless. It's stupid. So she needs to go and have her baby, deal with your husband, and move on. If you want a role on the show, then have the role with your husband. If not, move on.
And was I the only one who noticed, like, when she called him, he kind of acted like he's been around? Yeah, I'm on the
I
way to
didn't
the
even
hospital
know.
now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
he
I
was
didn't
like,
catch
yeah, yeah. He said, I'm on the way to the hospital now.
I'm about
I'll
to
meet
catch because that's the
you.
end of it. Then I'm about to go
Yeah,
back
I
and
was
look.
like, dude, he ain't even acting like a man who's been out of the picture. He's
Yeah, and
totally
then
like,
especially for her to be 7 months pregnant, like that's 7 months pregnant is not a normal time to have a baby. It's
no.
not like, oh,
And the
her.
fact
she's
It's,
that
7 months pregnant, she can have the baby any day.
but
No.
what tell me is she's around the same. I think Sarah's what 5 or 6 months, and then she's 7. But is she so much? She's carrying much bigger because I thought she was probably like 9 months.
yeah,
But
I thought she was further along than she was,
It's
but
no,
then
some
in the
people carry
wedding
baby
dress, she
though.
looked super small. Sarah looked really small in the wedding dress.
yeah, she did.
Maybe
The
So
only
white
she
has
tell
did
she
it.
was
really well.
pregnant.
Maybe
Yeah.
white has it.
But
But
yeah,
and it's the other thing, like the vaping. When I saw her, like, was she trying to have a conversation talking about I'm 7 months pregnant and I'm about to have a baby, and then she puts her thing in her mouth. I said, "Is that a vape?" And I'm
yeah, she's
like,
been doing
"Wait,
it the whole
is she
time.
vaping?" I'm like, "No wonder you about to have your baby early." I'm like, "You got people who have a baby early for complications that are out of their control. Here you
Right,
are vaping. So if your baby comes out preemie and your baby comes out sick, it's your fault."
right,
Like this is not a oops, my baby came early. Oops, like you know what I'm saying? I can't
No,
carry a
that's one
baby.
of the side effects of smoking during pregnancy.
That's what I'm saying.
early
And that's what I'm
pregnancy
saying. So you
syndrome.
have people who sit there who have, in your
Like
case,
me,
your
yeah.
baby came early. Yeah, your baby came early. And it's like you're having to deal with your baby sitting in the NICU, sick. Well, not sick, but like, fighting for his life because he's underweight and all this stuff. And you can't take your baby home. And then you got people who are vaping. And then you're gonna go through the same trauma as the people who went through it just natural causes. To me,
Right,
that's just not fair. Like, and I got you can't stop people from doing stuff like that, but it's like you're doing it on TV. Like, at the least, you knew the cameras was rolling. Put the vape down. Like, you can't not vape for 2 seconds. The
right,
camera was on her for less than a minute. You couldn't like she was like on the phone like blah 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 blah. And I'm like, you couldn't not vape because the whole time we seen her, we hadn't seen her vaping. I had so much more respect, not respect for her as a woman because of how she was acting, but just for her pregnancy. Until I saw that, and I was like, dude, that's why you're going into labor early. You're 7 months pregnant. You're not supposed to be going into labor right now.
right. Between that and all the stress of what she was doing, like that
Or
was just
that she
unnecessary
literally wasn't
trauma.
7 months pregnant. Maybe she further along. Like,
Yeah, that'll be
could
the truth.
be.
But yeah, when she called her husband, she said, I'm on my way to the hospital. He said, yeah, I know I'm on my way. Somebody who's
Why would he
estranged.
murder?
Exactly. Like
Wait a
someone
minute,
who's
7 months.
estranged. I don't
But
think
at
they
seven
dropped
months,
everything over a baby they weren't sure about. Like
but
it was just weird.
even if he was gonna be in that baby's life and be there for the birth, like, hey, we estranged, but I'm gonna be there for my baby. I'm gonna be there at the 9th month. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna be like at 8 months. I'm gonna be like, are you serious? What's going on? You're
He,
7 months
he
pregnant.
probably knows she's been vaping. So he knew he needs to stay by that phone. And she's probably vaping, probably drinking, doing everything she ain't supposed to be doing.
That's just messed up. Because I mean, you know what I mean. And I'm not even trying to say for women like me who don't have kids, but women like me who don't even have kids, like you know what I'm saying. We people who want kids but don't have them. Then you have women who, appear to me, don't want them because you're not doing the right thing. And it's like, how do y'all like end up with babies when you know what I'm saying? Here I am, probably older than her, and we end up with a baby, and
Yeah,
I didn't do anything wrong.
it
So I'm
gets
like, and here, you know what I'm saying?
it definitely gets
Vaping.
frustrating.
Yeah,
Mhm.
vaping on TV. Vape off screen. Don't do that mess so we can see it. Like that irritated me. I'm like, and then you have a pretty vape, so it stands out. At least have a black one that we don't notice or flesh color. I don't know if they make that, but dang, something. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, that pink or whatever she had, like it stood out. I'm like, what is that? I'm like, is that a vape? Is she vaping? Because then she put it in her mouth. I'm like, is that a vape or is that an inhaler? Is something wrong? Like, is that an inhaler or is it a vape? I'm like, it's a vape. I was going through emotions because I'm like, I hate people like that
Yeah, it was very off-putting, very much so.
on TV. You couldn't wait 2 seconds.
Oh, Shawn, he came off of mute. Shawn, are you about to talk about Shawn and Sarah?
Well, I was waiting for my turn.
You coming to play nice? Oh, okay. It's your turn, Shawn. You have the floor.
All right.
Hey, bestie ally.
When the
You know me.
child
Hey, ally.
uh
Hey,
Yeah, he's
bestie.
mad at you,
was
Reese.
talking, when the kid was
Bestie.
talking, um, I heard the
Bestie.
mom in the voice, as she was saying
Bestie.
what was going on to her dad. So I was like, oh, okay, because the points that she was making sound like the same points that her mom was making or had
Yeah,
made. And so now it could be, I ain't gonna take it away from her because her feelings is her feelings. But
Mhm.
to me, it seems like it was more her feelings is based off of her mom feelings and how her mom
or
feels.
she could have told her mom how she feels, and that's what
Yeah,
kept.
that's how I took it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
Because she's
I
old.
didn't take it
Like,
that.
she's not a kid.
I didn't take it that way because if you go along with what the brother was saying, he was saying how mom said what mom said, and I had my own opinion on that.
Right.
So the mom feed into it to end that, but the son he was able to go ahead on and he had his own opinion because whatever reason why he had his own opinion, he had his own opinion. The daughter, she still have her own opinion. It could to me it's just that it was influenced more based off of what the mom was saying.
I
So
got
that,
that
that's,
from the
that's
time
what
for
I
that.
have to say about that. The Then back to now the mom, like you all was saying, why? Of course, we told her that oh girl is outside. Now is the time to go talk to her. And so then once she goes out there and she sees she's out there and she turns around and says, oh, it's like talking about surprise. I wanted to talk to you. Now again, like we had pointed out a long time ago, why do you wait till now to want to talk to this woman about the man? Say something earlier in the game. Don't wait till now because, like we say, her intentions was to ruin the marriage. It was not to, oh, I care so much about you. And as a woman to woman, I don't want to see another woman go through the things that I have been through. Because if you cared about that way, soon as you heard, you would have told her, hey, he best with a girl named Destiny. Destiny did this to him and all this type of stuff. You need to watch your back. And but to what's her name? The wife. I forgot her name.
Sarah.
Oh, wait, Sarah.
Yeah, to Sarah and how you were saying how you brought out how she was like, yeah, I know he's a liar, and she's like, yeah, everything she said, yeah, I know. It really wasn't nothing because she wants to be with the man and she's going to be with the man, and they're married now. And then how she made a point out, why would you wear black to my wedding? Of you planning a funeral now, and then the comments you made about if she was wearing black because she was trying to do the funeral of her loss of
Love.
or yeah. So I was like, oh, that was tight. I like that.
But I
Um,
didn't understand that. I've worn black to a wedding before. Was I
yeah.
doing a fashion faux pas by wearing black?
Mm,
I guess I was.
Maybe.
I
Maybe.
didn't think I was doing anything wrong. I know don't wear white, but I didn't realize that black was like a faux pas.
well, I don't know because I haven't been to many weddings, and plus, I really didn't pay attention to what people were wearing. But to I can see what she was saying, where Sarah was coming from, because this is my wedding. You ain't supposed to be here in the first place, and since you here, why would you wear black? And to also, it don't matter what she would have been wearing. Sarah would have had a problem with it. Because
Yeah.
if a girl came in there with hot pink, she'd be like, "Why she wearing this pink? She's trying to get all the attention on her." You know,
Right.
so
Yeah.
she
If
would
it
have
was
said
Nan Kelly could have did, that would have been in the right.
right because she shouldn't have been there in the first place. That's according to Sarah. And then when Kelly, keep on forgetting the names, when a girl had told her that she was there because of the daughter, and then she's like, "Oh, okay, that's cool, that's acceptable." I was like, "Yeah, traveling buddy and all that type of stuff." So they went down the aisle. That's good. The vows was nice. I agree with that. And they happy. They married. All right. Now, destiny. When I saw it too, that pink thing, I thought it was an inhaler as well. I didn't think it was a vapor because I was like, that don't make sense for it to be a vapor. So I given her the benefit of the doubt. But
Yeah.
you all had cleared that out 100% as a vapor, and she shouldn't have been vaping. That's something that she should have gave up as soon as she knew that she was pregnant. Two, also, I agree with Johnny how she's saying about the baby daddy, how she just called him up and said that she was in the hospital, going to the hospital, and he was like, "Okay, I'm there, I'm waiting." It did not seem like he was not in the picture. It does seem like he was there all the time, and that he's on speed dial. So if something was to come up, she can always just call on him, and he's ready to jump in the picture. Because if I have a problem with you, and you have a problem with me, you ain't gonna call me on speed dial that quick and fast, and I'm gonna be like, "Hey, okay, I'm good." I'm be like, "Okay, what's the problem? I'll be there when I'll be there. You know, I'll get there and let me know how things are going and all that type of stuff. You know, I wouldn't be so supportive, even though
Sure.
it's his child. You know,
Right.
and at the mind time saying wouldn't be thinking. But then when she said 7 months, I'd have been like, okay, you 7 months. Why are you going into labor? What's going on? What have you done to cause yourself to go into labor? You know, what are you doing? You know, are you not listening to the doctors and doing what you're supposed to do? Uh, then I'd give her a chance to explain herself because of my feelings towards her is not, of good favor, because we're not in good favor. So I'd be thinking that she personally did something. So I wouldn't be as positive or as supportive as he was. So that's I agree that he is in the picture and all that stuff right there. And the other thing is she shouldn't have been going to the first place, like Reese was saying that she is irrelevant. The whole purpose of her going there to the wedding. Glad she didn't make it to the wedding because she would have caused the scene for what and wouldn't have got nothing out of it. Just would have been messing up somebody else's happy moment because it's not her and because she feel. Because I remember the last episode she was saying that the friend had asked how much do he owe you, and she talking about some $50,000. And I was thinking to myself, well, Nene only said that it was a bad car, a car that they had, and it was his in his name, and it was a diamond ring or a ring that's like $10,000. So where all this other money come from? So she's delusional, and she wants something from somebody that don't owe her anything,
Right.
and she need to concentrate on that child, quit smoking, uh, and do what she's supposed to do. Hopefully, uh, but I was looking at her. She don't look like she's 7 months. She look like she's more than 7 months.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that
Probably
she's
is.
7 months now.
She probably is. She probably 9 months.
So if she is 7 months and she's gone through the process, maybe hopefully they can, what do you call it, stop the labor from coming, and then she can carry the baby to term. But if not, I feel for that child because that child is going into having a mother like her. But hopefully, once the child comes, she will mature and change some of her ways so she can be there for the child and be less selfish and less thinking about herself and putting her needs first above the child's needs. So and hopefully she can do that type of thing. Uh, but that's that.
Very true. Okay. Good points. So our last couple was Brittany and Ray. Their scenes was very short. We see that Brittany and her mom, they are off wedding dress shopping together. Brittany's mom brings up the fact that she thinks Brittany and Ray need to sign a prenup. She says that her and her father are that the mom and the father are leaving things to Brittany that they don't want someone else to be able to take from her. we see that she goes back home. She ends up talking to Ray, telling Ray that my mom wants me to sign this prenup. Ray is not necessarily happy about what was said. Um, and that was pretty much their scenes. Thoughts on Brittany and Ray this week?
Mm-hmm.
My point on Brittany and Ray is that with Brittany, well, Ray, I can get the whole prenup thing, how he is upset about someone asking about a prenup. I can see where he's coming from, but then again, I was like, okay, hey, she want a prenup, give her a prenup. But her mindset about it is that how she's saying that my mom want me to do it, and she's getting all upset, talking about quit being selfish. It's not about you. I'd have told her, yes, it is about me because who you trying to get the prenup from? A prenup, you getting want me to sign the prenup, so it's about me. It's not about your mom. It's not about your dad. You know, it's about me. You want me to sign this at night. Now, I can understand why the family want him to, so that if he has his debt and all that stuff, something happens, she's not on the hook for it because they're looking out for their child, and that's understandable. And that's the way she should bring it up to him, and she should have brought it up to him and not mention my mom this and my mom that, saying that hey, we need to talk about the you know what you owe, and if something was to happen, and he can come back and say why you think something was going to happen, what makes you think that, and then she would come back and say, hey, I'm just saying because stuff happens. You know,
Right.
we can control what happens in the future.
Yeah, I agree with you because the way it came off, I understood why Ray felt some type of way because it's like your parent, he feels like her parents always got something against, say against him or whatever. She
Right.
could have approached him a little bit better with that, like you said. She could have been like, you know, I don't even know that I necessarily would have said that my mom even told me.
Right.
hmm So yeah, so that's what she should have just went on and said, hey, brought it up differently, and then what do you think about it? Make suggestions and all that type of stuff, and then go from there and make her points, and then let him make his points, and then they sit down and have a conversation like adults about the matter, instead of her trying to push it on him. Hey, quit being childish, quit being childish, when she's acting childish the whole time. It's a couple thing. It's not just about her. And then the mom, like I said, I can get it why you want that because you're taking the kid. But then again, how much money do Brittany have? If she's a millionaire, y'all gonna inherit, and then once you all pass on, and your inheritance is gonna have to be divided amongst all the kids. So Brittany's not getting everything, so she's not gonna be losing anything to her husband. So um, it's I can see where Ray is like, no matter what, I always got to prove myself to your family. you know.
Hmm.
So and two, I kind of like the fact that he was saying that where they keep on making the bad vibes, and this is going to end our relationship in the marriage type thing, because he in his mind he wants to get married, but he wants to do it small. She wants to get married, she wants to do it big. So I would have used that as an opportunity to say, well, hey, you talking about money. So what about this in marriage? How about we do something small because we need to save this money to go towards the bill, and instead of putting the money on a big wedding. So he could have used that as opportunity to throw in his opinion on some stuff too.
It
So
is something else I thought about too. With their conversation, they also have to realize that's a two-way street because then Ray can also say, I don't want you to ever have any entitlement to anything I have because his family, they have a big house, they have property, they have things that Ray can inherit too.
yeah,
And I'm sure her mom would be like, well, no, Brittany is your wife. She deserves something. So you got to think about that. It goes both ways. He
right.
has things to lose as well by possibly getting
Yeah,
married.
I didn't think about that myself. So yeah, it does go both ways, and that's what he should go ahead on and say. Okay, then let's go, because he did tell go talk to the lawyer. He just said you go talk to your lawyer and I'll go talk to mine, and then I'll come back and I'll show you what you need to sign. And then I'm pretty sure, like you said, her mom and Brittany both, especially Brittany, will be tripping about it and be like, "Why you need a prenup? Like,
Right.
okay, you seen my house? They're gonna be like that. You seen my parents' house? My parents' house twice as big as yours. So hey, who got the most stuff to lose or most stuff to gain?" Um,
Exactly.
so that's all on that.
Yeah. I agree, Shawn, with you. Uh, Prenups are, they are what they are. Unfortunately, people don't go into a marriage with the thought of divorce, but when divorce happens, the love that you used to have for that person just seems to disappear. I've never been married or divorced, so I don't know. But what I've seen how people have been in love and it's been great. And when they divorce, it's like, damn, like you were married to this person. How the hell did it get there? But so it's just to keep the previous things protected. Another one that actually was just going through this was Todd and what's her face? Candy
Candy.
from what's the name, when they were sitting there talking about their trust. And she kind of brought up a point that I didn't even think about, because you don't think about when you die and what happens afterwards. But it was like when she died and the stuff that she has left for her kids, that she wanted to make sure it was said or written that Todd would never get married again, which I don't think is cool. But he would need to protect her assets for her kids' sake so that no one coming in could take their stuff. Like, I didn't even think about that. I was like, wow, she's right. Like,
Yeah.
I
So
leave
like,
all this, yeah, I
yeah,
leave all this
something
for
to
my
think
kids.
about. If there's kids outside of that marriage, then
Yeah,
I do believe you should have separate trusts so that those kids would be okay, because it's not fair if you think about it. Like to Riley, if she does a joint trust with Todd, then Todd gets everything and Riley wouldn't be entitled to anything. No, do separate trusts and then you can leave stuff to Riley.
right. So it was just interesting to think about it in those standpoints. And in the case, if I do get married, I'd want a prenup. I have a house. I have to protect my assets. Um, I want him to have a prenup if he has the house and he wants to protect his assets. I don't find prenups so discouraging. I would be like, okay. And then, of course, I'd make sure all my rules are in there too. Like, if you cheat, the prenup's null and void. If you da 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 da, prenup's null and void. Like, I would make sure every little thing you could possibly think about is put in writing. If that's how, it is what it is. And you can do it the same way. But either way, it's an agreement. We're good and we're good to go. But I do think Brittany, it just seems like she doesn't have a mind of her own when it comes to her parents. And that part is just really weird to me. I don't understand that. I can't imagine being my age now and my dad just being able to control every move I make or every thought I think, to the point where I'm sitting there spewing it, but I don't even understand why you're asking me in the first place. Like, she should have just said, um, hey, I was thinking maybe we should get a prenup because your restitution really does make me nervous. And just left it at that. And then they could have went to a lawyer, talked about it, and then she could have really understood by the law what it is she's responsible for. Maybe she's not responsible for restitution even if they get married. Not saying not to get the prenup, but I'm just saying, like, understand what you're getting yourself into before you
Yes.
just jump in there, because you don't
Now,
know.
yeah, now to jump back on that whole parent thing, I think her parents are so much in her ear because as a child, they didn't do what they were supposed to do as parents. When you have the kid in your house, if you're guiding them and helping them and teaching them how to make sound decisions, then when they're adults, you don't have to treat them like that. You know why? Because you're comfortable in the fact of knowing they know what to do. So I think that's when you have like parents of adult children being overbearing because they they probably feel or they know that when that child was growing up, they weren't teaching that child the right way.
Yeah, it's just too much. And I'm kind of surprised that Ray is sticking around as long as he has with it, because I would think at some point I would have given up, especially after she said if her dad can't get on board, she's not going to marry him. But this is who you said you want to be with. So, how does that work? It's too much. They have too much control of her life. And I understand that she was in an abusive relationship. Um, I, again, don't know how she got into it, how long she stayed in it. I don't know. But you should see that this has been, like he said, 2 years, and none of that's transpired, and he's done everything they've asked him to do. And that's the part that I think is very frustrating for him. But I guess he really loves it. And yeah, she can't tout being childish when she's always childish in the
Yeah,
argument. So that part was kind of funny to me when she said that.
yeah. I was like, girl, like, knock it off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I feel like her parents, so I wouldn't say that they didn't do what they were supposed to as a kid to so that she would know as an adult. I think they're just scared because of the decision she made in her last relationship that became abusive. And because, like she said, that relationship carried into that family somehow. So whether it was they were I don't know what happened, because she's never really said what happened other than it was abusive and that they were involved in it somehow. So whatever the trauma that it caused, it's not fair for them to put that on Ray, but I think that's why they're being extra cautious with her and who she chooses, because maybe she was going to try to marry that last guy and he was abusive and whatever, you know what I'm saying? That's where I think they're coming from, not necessarily not teaching so much as she's made bad, like kind of like Deontay, like she's made bad decisions and then you're doing it again with somebody else who doesn't have a good record, who doesn't have, you know what I mean? And apparently, I mean, we heard he did cheat or something, but I don't know if that's known at this point. But when it comes to the prenup, I would say the prenup does not change unless you're rich. Like, to me, that's when it's really a problem, because it's like, so you want me to not have nothing. Like, I came into this with nothing and you came into it rich. You want me to not have nothing. That's when I would have a problem with it. Not when we two nothings. Because right now there are two nothings coming together to have, whatever, I mean, granted, he's got a little bit less than her because he's a criminal with a background, whatever. And he does have the restitution. So I would say talk to a lawyer to find out what the deal is with the restitution, to see what would happen if they get divorced. Is she responsible for it? If he passes, is she responsible for it? Yes, get that information. But to me, they're both coming into it with not a lot. Like, she's not coming into it as a millionaire. So when it comes to that prenup thing, I don't really see like it being that big of a thing unless I was coming into it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm marrying a millionaire and he's saying you can't have nothing when you leave. Then to me, I would feel like I'll feel some kind of way. But in their case, I don't think the prenup talk is that big of a deal to me, because he does have that big giant debt. Like, I don't know, she got a house. For all we know, she might owe 100 and some thousand on her house. Do you want to carry that debt if if y'all like split up or something? You know what I mean? So like that
Yeah,
works both ways.
yeah, that's what I was saying with them. It's both ways, because I mean, if they get a divorce and he wants to, you have a house, does he really want to carry the debt of that? Is that house paid off? The house is not paid off. I don't want it. What are you
Yeah,
talking?
yeah. That
He could get the
house is
equity
still
in her
got
home
payments. That's
and
nothing
forced
for
to
me.
sell it.
Oh, what you say, Tony?
He could get the equity in her home and she could be forced to sell her house.
That's true if it's paid off to an extent to where it has equity. Like, I mean,
Yeah,
it
but he can
still
only
has to
get
be.
equity from the time that he got married to her. I believe that's how that works.
But I mean, it's like, because in 5 years, it might not have the equity that it has right now. Like right now, yeah, it has equity. But if they
Yeah.
were to get divorced in 5 years, and I'm only speaking from being married and divorced, that literally, had we did a prenup, like there was nothing to get on either side. With or without the prenup, like I still feel like some of the stuff that I still had to pay for or still like had as far as debts and stuff, I don't feel like a prenup would have saved me. Um, More so much if I had money, like if I had big money, and then you marry me and you're marrying me for my money, then yeah, the prenup protects me. But
Right.
to me, when you're two broke people or two regular people, two middle class people, then I feel like you deal with regular middle class divorces. You know what I mean? Like if you got kids, the prenup don't change nothing for you know what I'm saying? That throws out the one. They want kids. So I feel like by the time they get married and well, I know they're already married, but if they have kids, that changes the game, because then when you can say prenup this, prenup that, but Now, when there's kids involved, you still got child support. You still got, you know what I'm saying? That doesn't change
Yeah.
alimony. You know what I
And,
mean? Only
and
thing it changes is what you had prior to coming.
And the other thing, the prenup does not protect you for assets coming outside from assets after the marriage. So
Mm-hmm.
if they did have that house saved for Brittany and her sisters and they pass away after the prenup's done and signing after they're married, it does not protect that. I don't
Mm-hmm.
Right.
think you can protect pre assets. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like you can only protect what you're bringing in right at this moment. But
Right.
that's a good point to make, Reese. If you have the same debt as the person, why does it matter?
Yeah.
You
So
know?
it's like I get what her parents are saying. I get it.
Yeah.
Because she's made bad decisions relationship wise. And they I don't know what the mom's still being like this because like look, you done went with the chick dress shopping. That means you're on board. Now stop trying to add more fuel to the fire because you already know like the dad's already causing commotion. If
Right.
you had a problem with it, you should have spoke up when the dad said he said I didn't get my blessings. You said me neither.
Right.
Once you gave your blessings, now you can shut up at this point, in my opinion. The
Yeah.
mom shouldn't be saying nothing else.
Yeah.
Um, Now the dad is telling her prenup stuff, like, hey, maybe I'll get my blessings if you do a prenup. That's different. But the mom saying that, I'm like, so then why'd you give your blessings? Because now you're giving conflicting information. Like you want her to get prenup, but you know what I mean? Or I get my blessings, but no, you gave your blessings. So now shut up because you didn't say this prior to. Like if you said like with the dad, I don't get my blessings, then okay, yeah, let's talk this prenup stuff. And then you're talking about land that the mama them got to die, the dad, the mama got to die, the dad got to die for this to actually even be inherited. Both have to die.
Right.
And you talking about a marriage that the way y'all talking, their marriage ain't gonna last but a couple years anyway. So their marriage probably won't even last.
By the time
They'll be divorced before y'all even die.
I
So
I truly honestly think she just needs to understand the restitution and what's her
yeah,
responsibility.
yeah.
That's really
Now
all
that
she needs
leave
to
it,
understand.
talk to a lawyer, yeah, on that because that legit. I would want to know too. I want to know like if he dies, it doesn't fall on me. If we divorce, do I
Right.
pay
Because
half?
we're married. Like, I
If he
mean, things
stops paying
happen.
it, do I owe it? Those are legit things to know.
Yeah.
Right. And
And
that's what
so
she needs to, because what
yeah,
he said was, well, as long as I'm paying, it shouldn't be a problem. But ish happens. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like, you, great. Note that they said he has a CDL now, so he's driving.
yeah. But
So
anything can happen.
anything can happen.
My
Driving
dad
is
has a
right now.
CDL, and he
Right.
drove, and he like the hospital like did something with his eyes, and he lost like his eyesight got jacked up. So now one of his eyes is not good, so he can't drive trucks right now. Probably never again because of his eyesight. And I mean, it was the VA that messed him up. However, because they touched him with dirty stuff.
Dang.
However, that's here. That's for him to, what I'm saying, dispute with the VA and whatever lawsuit, whatever the case may be. But because of that, he can't drive trucks. So would he have predicted that if he was getting married next week? No.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like he wouldn't have predicted that somebody gonna touch you with something dirty and mess your eye up. No.
Right. No.
He got
You.
into an accident and also lost a toe. He couldn't have predicted that. Like nobody predicts. So that's what I'm saying. So like you're saying stuff that's, you know what I mean? What ifs and all this. Like you can't predict. Like
You
you
can't. But
saying
just know
this and
what your
that.
responsibility is. If it's
Yeah.
really bothering you that bad, and you really are worried about the restitution
And
becoming
take
your
her off.
problem,
Take her
then
off of the
go.
inheritance.
Exactly. Go find out. Will it be a
Look,
problem? And if it is going to be a problem for you and you can't handle it, then don't take it on and don't
Yeah.
marry him and find somebody else.
I
Like
mean,
it's
she
just
could
but
that
probably
and
simple.
that's
Google.
the
She
parents
could
can
probably use Google
also.
to find the answer.
Yeah,
But I mean,
it's
the
totally
parents
that
can
simple.
also like, if you're scared that your inheritance, which what is your inheritance? That house? Who cares about that house? But anyways, that house is gonna go to a convict. Then take her off. She married a convict, so now the
Yeah,
inheritance will go to your
have it,
sister.
or her sisters can give
Yeah,
it to her afterwards. But
yeah,
it didn't make sense. Like uh, it was just kind of out of the way. But like I said, even still, a prenup can't protect future assets. So if she doesn't have the asset now, It's
Yeah.
no need in protecting it.
Yeah.
And if he's able to stay married to
Mhm.
her 15, 20 years, I think he deserves it.
All right. But it would be funny or just deserves if a few years down the line, Ray wins the lotto and he leaves her.
Yeah, he went a
Yes.
lotto, and then it's like, well, what I came with, and what I leave. But you get this. What can she say? She's like, but you're a multimillionaire.
Yeah, but
You leave
that's
with your
Oh,
$100
sure.
you get it.
Hmm.
but that's the thing. He won the lottery with them being married. So she would be able to get half because
But she
that was
would,
after
yeah,
the prenup.
because
Well, what if he wins it right before they get married?
Well, then she's SOL.
Yeah, yeah. He might do some scratch tickets and win that $1,000 for life.
I know, right? Wouldn't that be
You know what I'm
nice?
saying? Like, and that's the thing is like, and I'm not saying I'm against prenups because I'm not, but I do think it needs to be something that's discussed between the two people and not a third party. Now, if the third party gives you advice, don't come and say, well, this third party, that's like me saying, yeah, my sister said I should get a prenup because no, I should go in and say, maybe I should think about a prenup because you got this restitution and this could affect me and I'm nervous about that. But if you come in there like, well, my sister said I should get a prenup because then it's like, well, do you want it or do your sister want it? Because you're sounding like your sister wanted. You're not making this decision. I'm sick of your parents telling me, well, you don't get married into this, don't get married to that. And then, you know what I'm saying? When she already knows, like, they just said they don't give their blessing.
Right.
The mom just made him jump through hoops before he could even propose for real. And you've been pushing him to propose. So it's like, what is it that you want? Do you want your parents to say it's cool, or do you want this? Because you've been pushing this man to marry you by the end of the year. Like, well, we're gonna be married by the end of the year, but yet, well, if my dad doesn't say we can get married, then I don't know if we can get married. It doesn't make sense. Like, it doesn't make sense.
No. It's too many hoops. That's what I'm saying. I'm totally surprised he's really willing to jump through all these hoops. It doesn't seem like it's worth it because even still he's still not being recognized and I guess
Exactly.
rewarded for what he's been doing. And I really am trying to understand why he's sticking around as long as he has because it's crazy to me. I couldn't imagine if this were a woman going through all the stuff that Ray's gone through. Like I would be like, why is she doing all of that? So I'm being that way with him. Why are you doing
Yeah.
all of this?
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
love should not
I mean,
have to be all this proving. I shouldn't have to constantly prove all of this to you. Like
and
this
it's
is
not
Especially
even
when you're the
proving
one that
it to
won't.
her. He's
yeah,
proving it to her family.
yeah. And it's way too much. This is not it's kind of what I signed up for, but it's not because I didn't realize it was gonna be like this.
Yeah. And you
So
wanted this marriage thing at this timeline.
right,
It
we were
wasn't that he
all
came
that.
into it saying, I want to be with you and I want to be married by 1 year and this in 2 months, like when we be engaged, and then by the end of this amount of time we be. She wanted that. So
Yeah.
now that he's meeting her timelines,
Her
now
time.
it's like, oh, okay, as well as what my mom and dad want.
And
And
that's
that's not fair to him. Yeah.
it's not at all. Like I said, I'm just surprised that he's staying around as long as he is. So I'm sorry if he does cheat on her. I kind of don't blame him
Yeah. I don't
because
either. Cause
it's crazy to me.
like dang, I've been like
He's great.
the actual faithful dude that's done everything that most dudes would have been like, you know what?
Yeah,
Look
I
at
don't
our
know if they would
boy.
have
Look
gone
at our
through all
boy.
this.
He had nothing. What's his name? The one dating Indy? Harry? Had
Yeah.
nothing. You living with your sisters. This dude was willing to lose this house to go live in this house, to go be with this girl, to go do it. Like he could care less. He was like, I'm about me. I'm young
Right.
and I'm about me. Ray is in his 20s. Ray's younger than her. Like, granted, she's in her 30s, he's in his 20s. He could be the same way. Like, that dude is cute enough, and his crime is not as bad enough that would turn a woman off.
That
And then
and
he's
he
already said he's
put
good
out there
in,
that
yeah,
and
he's good
he
at what he do.
He breaks headboards.
I
Yeah,
know, right?
yeah.
And he
And
said I can't
you watch
butterfly.
you watch him try. You watch
Yeah.
him try, and it's still not good enough. So it's like, what more do you want? Like, you got regular men who aren't convicts, who aren't You know what I'm
They're
saying?
not
Just regular
trying.
dudes
Right.
that don't even try. You got this dude who he didn't win it. He didn't got a job. He's trying.
He
He's
done got his
actually
scales. I mean, so he went to school and
yeah. And then he freaking did a promise ring and then when he realized like the promise ring was stupid, he went and did a real ring, and that real ring was nice.
It was
And
nice.
I'm
That
like,
was a nice ring.
like dang, like me and my ex, my ring was not that nice. Like the first ring we got was stupid. The second one we got was it was a pawn shop ring, which was nicer, but it still wasn't like that nice. You know what I mean? So this dude coming out of jail got his CDL, did what he had to do, and I ain't say because we were younger than them too, so I ain't downplaying my ring, but um he's doing what he's supposed to do, and then it's like our parent. Now here comes the dad, like, yeah, but it's still not enough. Now you didn't say nothing in the beginning when the mom said, "I need to see 3 months of this, 2 months of that, 4 months of this." The dad should have said, "And I need to see 6 months of this, a year of that, and 2 years of this." You ain't say none of that. So now where are you coming in with this? That's what makes me mad about the dad, and about him making this harder on them because he's making it to the point like now she's questioning, do we get married? And now here comes the mom who you've already put this dude through the ringer, and now you're like, well, also we got this land and this house.
Yeah. It's just too much. And I'm
It's
a
not
daddy,
even a
so
mansion. It's not even like, you know what I'm saying? Hundreds of acres. It's
Ray's family's house
it's
was
a
very
lot. It's a
expensive.
lot with a house on it. I doubt Ray is like, man, when I get this girl, I'm gonna divorce her and I'm gonna get that lot and I'm gonna
you
get that
know,
house.
yeah, like
I'm gonna
it's
tear
just
that house
expensive.
down and I'm gonna get that lot and I'm gonna build me a mansion.
Yeah, I'm gonna kick Brittany off and I'm gonna do all of this and that. Like,
Yeah, like it doesn't make
first of
sense.
all,
Everything,
yeah, they're siblings, so it's got to be split. It's not even like Brittany is gonna get this.
All
I'm
of
gonna
it.
take her whole quarter of an acre and
I
what
know.
I'll build.
All I can do with that. But like you said though,
Oh,
I bet you anything if his parent that's why I was still wondering, has her parents met his parents yet? Like have they met
Um,
at his parents' house?
I
probably
doubt.
not.
Like have they not seen where he comes from?
I doubt it because they still acting like he comes from the slums.
Yeah, so I would think once you do that, I
It's
bet you she shuts
annoying.
up and is like, "Oh, never mind about the prenup."
Yeah,
And then you really know
like
what
with
all that's
that, he
about.
should get a prenup.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
should.
'Cause the way his family acted, I would think they would leave him with everything, whether he got brothers and sisters or not.
I
He
Like
just
doesn't.
hope.
they're
I
like,
think
we
he told
love,
me
we love
no.
us some Ray.
Yeah, so I hope if he goes through with his prenup, he has his own stipulations in there too. Well, look, my parents have property, so I want to protect the property from Brittany.
Well, yeah, I mean, and he should. Like me personally, if a man came to me and was like, I want to put these prenups and I'm gonna put this in case you cheat, and I'm like, well, if you cheat,
I'm gonna do
why
blah blah
shouldn't we
blah.
have the same stipulations? If I cheat, if you cheat, just like a woman can cheat, a man can cheat. Just like a man can cheat, a woman can cheat.
Right.
Simple as that. So let's put the same stipulations. Like if I cheat, okay, we void this out. If you cheat, we void this out. If we have a child, this part is voided, but maybe this part is still safe unless you cheat. Whatever the case may be, but let it be fair across the board because they're both coming into this with debt, apparently, because they never said she owned her house. Now, if she
Yeah,
And
owns
that's
her
what I
house,
was
that's a different
wondering. Like,
story.
did she own?
heck,
Because even the mom never said that part.
Yeah.
She just
These
said
both
our
of them.
stuff.
Shoot,
yeah,
because if I was to get married today, I'm coming in with debt. I got a house. I don't
yeah.
I
We
don't
don't know.
own my house.
They have student loans. That's a
You know what
big.
I'm saying? Got a debt. You know what I'm saying? Some people, yeah, student loans. Some people just bad credit. You know what I'm saying? Like poor old Deontay. We started to talk about them, or we did talk about them
Yeah,
earlier.
we
Talk
We
talked
talked
about.
about
about
them,
them earlier.
yeah.
Yeah, with his bad credit and all that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's a bunch of things that factor into all of that. So it's like I don't know. I feel like the mom is just being extra when the dad's already been extra. Because when the
Right.
dad did that, when he said what he said, it really actually just made me annoyed. I'm like, I'm sick of them.
I
I'm sick
swear
of
my
them.
face seems like it's getting bigger and bigger in the camera, so I just
You're not though. I think just sit back, push the
I'm
camera
like,
away.
I'm like,
Cause
God, wait, I
look,
feel like I'm
look,
It's
all in
because
the
look,
Shawn left and we went to three screens.
look. You just
God.
gotta sit back.
There we
Look,
go.
here you go. When you do that, It worked.
Yeah, it
Now
worked.
she's the biggest one in the camera. Look, now your hair's the biggest.
Yeah, I was like, yeah,
All right, let me not knock that over because yeah, well, Lord knows we don't want to know what's behind that.
yeah.
But yeah. So that's my opinion on Ray and Brittany. You know, like I like them because to me they're the most stable and the most that I feel like genuine couple. And they've been that way for the past few whatever seasons or whatever, you know, when it comes to like love during and life during or whatever, you know what I mean. But it's just the parent her parents. And even the grandma. The grandma who didn't like her. The grandma who did not like her. The grandma who was like, you know, pulling up in the truck like skirt. Yeah, who are you? You know what I'm saying? Like looking at her side with the side eye was like, don't be so quick to judge what you don't know, blah blah blah. Defend, you know what I'm saying? Granted, I know she defended him, but giving this girl good advice, and then you turn to her parents once again being a negative Nancy's, and I'm like, I'm over her family,
Yeah, it's too
her
much.
friends, her family. Like literally, this is that one time when I say like, you don't listen to those people. Like I don't know how you can say it, but don't listen to them that's that closely because for some reason, the people in her life potentially could mess up a good thing for her.
Yeah, they really
Her
could.
friends, her parents. And I'm like, and it's not to say that Ray's a great guy, but I don't think he's a bad guy.
No, he just made a bad decision, and we know why he made that bad decision. He couldn't
Mhm.
cope with the murder of his mom. Like, it's just, it's crazy. And regardless of how much, and you know how we are in our community, it's just deal with it. It's not go
Mhm.
get help. He needed mental help, and he
Yeah.
wasn't offered that. So he
He
sold
did it
and
the way he knew. Yeah.
he did it the way he could cope, and
Or he did
probably
it the way his kid, his child like his peers, his
influence.
peer
Yeah,
influence. Yeah.
and he probably went to jail and got the help he needed for his mental to handle and process what happened to him as a
Mhm.
young age. Because, I mean, like you said, he's only 28, 29, 28.
And he was in jail most of that time.
He was in
He
jail
went
since,
early 20s.
yeah. So, like, he just did a bad thing. And he doesn't have to be treated like that for the rest of his
Yeah.
life. And the fact that
And
he's
he's not a multiple, like, went to jail, got out, went to jail, got out, went to jail, got
just
out, went
one
to jail.
time.
Yeah.
So,
Like, give a man a chance to say he's rehabilitated before you say he's not.
right. And that's the part that's crazy to me with him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, well, this is a great show. This is, I think, our longest show ever. Hey, so that
It's
was
not my fault this time. Usually I'm not the fault, but that is my fault this time.
okay. All right, well, this was this week's episode of Love After Lockup. Hope you guys enjoyed our show. Make sure you hit that like button before you leave. And if you enjoyed the show, hit the subscribe button so you'll always know when we're live. And oh, there was something else that I wanted to bring up. I wanted to dedicate today's show to a special lady that we lost, little Miss Lexi. We lost her
My baby.
about a week ago. Was it a week ago now? Yeah, it's been a
It's a
week.
week now.
And
My
so,
baby.
yeah, so I just wanted to dedicate this week's show to her. And let's see, I'm trying to get her picture to come up. I'm sorry, guys, y'all work with me for a second here.
My baby, get a picture. The most spoiled baby ever.
Can y'all see her?
No.
Oh, no.
Oh gosh.
Did you click the share? Maybe you got to share.
Yeah, I clicked the button.
I'm looking at the YouTube thing. I don't see it.
Oh my gosh, she was just up. Where did her picture go? Just had the freaking picture. I'm sorry, guys. Let me get her cute little face up here.
Jeez.
and it keeps clicking off as soon as okay. I don't know why the picture keeps clicking off on me.
Maybe that's why it's not showing, because it's doing whatever weird thing it's doing.
Yeah, because she's on my screen.
Yeah, it's not showing.
This is aggravating. It keeps popping out. Like she's on the screen, but then as soon as I click the other button, she goes away.
Maybe it's something with us up here too. I don't know. What was that? I just saw something happen.
Oh, I think I got her now. Can y'all see her?
Look, she coming.
There she
That's
is.
Lexi Pooh with them eyelashes, my baby girl.
Yes. So she died. She was a very important member of our family. We're going to miss her dearly. So I just wanted to dedicate tonight's show to her.
My baby.
Hi, Lexi. I remember when you were a puppy. Because Bella and her used to fight, right? They didn't fight.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Her and Bella, yes, they did.
Yeah, when they were babies.
Yeah, and y'all see those eyelashes? That's sexy Lexi right there. That's sexy Lexi.
All right, sexy Lexi.
She answered to that too. She answers to it. She was like, you could be mad at her and be like, Lexi, Lexi, Lexi. You like sexy Lexi. She like, huh? She had a personality.
She did. She did.
12.5 years old.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Baby.
All right. So we're going to close out the show with little Lexi's face up there. All right. Bye, everybody. And thanks for watching.
Bye.
All right, y'all. I'm starving. I'm going to go get. Oh, you're still live.
I'm trying to end it.